all right. You can take your helmet off. The air's all right in here.
You must be Baker.
Oh, good heavens, no. Baker was before me here. You can't be one of his dreams 7 years late. I'm Ord, Colin Ord.
Before we go any further, just how does solitosis affect you?
Well, that's new. None of them ever asked that before. It makes me see things that aren't there.
And you know there's nothing there?
Sometimes.
Do you know I'm here?
I'm making a point of not wondering about it.
Well, one thing you can be sure of. This. Do you see this? This is a gun. I just want you to know I'm not heaven's little gift to lonely space station officers. Is that clear?
Oh, yes. Yes. What's your name?
Elsa Cutterline. You want to know why I'm here, of course.
Not particularly.
What?
Well, that's always the weakest part of the story. I don't like to press it. Why don't you, take off your spacesuit?
I'll tell you why, just the same. I killed a man. Why and how doesn't matter. I had access to an experimental ship. I thought if I disappeared for about 2 years,
Oh, please, don't labor over it. I'm not asking questions.
Why not?
Well, when we get around to it, I would be interested in the story you can concoct for being dressed like the cover of a magazine story in rather minimal clothing. It's been years since I thought up anything like that. You must be a throwback.
What are you talking about?
You know, you're going to have a tough time with that gun when you get tired of holding it. It's a heavy gun. How long do you think it'll be before I take it from you? After all, you have to sleep. There's no door in the station you can lock that I can't get in.
I know. I just wanted to make sure you weren't violent. I think I can get on with you, Ord.
Yes, I see. The question is, my dear, whether you're real or not.
Well, don't I look real?
Oh, yes, but that doesn't prove anything. As a matter of fact, the realer you look, the worse off I might be. But then there still is the remote possibility that you might actually have killed someone and decided to hide out on a space station. Shall I tell you something else, Elsa?
What?
I'm suddenly tired of the whole business. Breathes there a man with soul so dead, I'm sure you know the rest of it. I would suddenly like to have enough people around me so that I could be sane. I would like to find women as part of life instead of having them pop up here from the depths of my rather pornographic subconscious. But you've shaken me, Elsa. 24 hours ago, I was congratulating myself that solitosis hadn't really gotten me. But now I don't know.
Just don't try anything funny, or you'll find out whether I'm real. The hard way.
Any way is the hard way. First, I'll go out and have a look at your ship. £14 per square inch air. Heat. Now, I take a gasoline lighter. There, the flame lights. But on the other hand, if there was no lighter and I see it, I could also see it burn when there isn't any air. As a matter of fact, how do I know that I can read a meter for air pressure? And now that I look again quickly, I find I haven't got a lighter in my hand, and as a matter of fact, the pressure meter reads 0. There's no air on this ship. As a matter of fact, there isn't any ship. Elsa is no more real than Una. All right, Colin, old boy, sit here and concentrate for about 15 minutes, and you'll be able to walk through the walls of the ship.
Well, what did you find out there?
You'd better leave. It was a mistake your coming here. I'm sorry.
No, don't come any closer to me.
Put down the gun.
Keep back. I'm warning you. Keep back.
You see, it's no use. Oh, you're a good shot. You got me right between the eyes, but I couldn't feel a thing. I can't let myself be shot now, can I? Give that to me. There. Now remember, if you shoot me, nothing happens. But if I shoot you, you die. Do you know that?
Yes, I know that.
I'll give you about 20 minutes to get that overstuffed figure back into that spacesuit and get off my planet. Frankly, I'm getting tired of hallucinations. Tired.
Give me back my gun.
No. I'll keep that. After a while, I'll put it in a drawer. It'll stay there until I forget it. Then there won't be any gun anymore. From now on, my overblown figment, there will be no more Elsas or Susies or Margies. I am not going to give in to solitosis. Maybe I'll bring Una back. At least she could play chess. Pluto Station 3, Daily Report, Colin Ord, Space Officer. Gentlemen, I have successfully fought off solitosis for 2 days, and I have been alone. However, I'm afraid I'll lose as I watch my main scope now. I see a ship coming in again. I wonder what this one will be like. It's a launch from a larger spaceship. Maybe a lifeboat. Dorothy came in a lifeboat. I wonder what this one will be like. I've got to find out when she comes whether she's real. That's the key, as long as I know if she's real. When I don't care anymore, that's when it's really got me. The ship's down now. There she comes out of the airlock. I've got to find out whether she's real.
Colin Ord.
That's right.
I'm Dr. Lynn of Four Star Lines. Marilyn Lynn.
Oh, very pretty. Are you going to tell me your story now, or do I have to wait?
I'm not going to tell you anything till I've found out a little more about you.
Well, you're an improvement on the last one. At least you're young and beautiful, and you're not fantastic, and you look intelligent.
What do you mean?
Don't worry about me. I see things that aren't there. Particularly people.
Oh, so you don't believe I'm here?
Would you? If you were me?
Do you know I'm not here?
No, that comes with time. At least it always has so far.
You mean you've always proved to yourself that your visitors were mere fantasy?
With a struggle.
Interesting. Controlled solitosis. I never heard of it before. It's a pleasure to meet you, Mr. Ord.
No, that doesn't make you real. They all say that.
Why should I want to make you accept me as real?
I don't know. But they all do.
When will you know?
Oh, I can't say. Maybe in 5 minutes. Maybe not for hours.
How do you do it? You don't shoot me to see if I die or anything like that, do you?
No, nothing like that. If I shoot you, you do die, like the witches in history. They'd die if they were, and they'd die if they weren't.
Your mind has remained agile enough.
Naturally. I never heard of solitosis inhibiting intelligence. Would you like some coffee?
Is that part of the test? Whether more coffee is actually drunk than you drink yourself?
No, that doesn't help. It would be very easy for me to make half what I thought I made, to fill a cup with nothing and pass it back. You look afraid.
Why should I be?
What am I doing? Am I doing something I don't know I'm doing?
No. Would you like me to wash the cups for you when we're done?
That won't prove anything. Next time they were used, I could just imagine they were washed, couldn't I?
Where are you going?
To find out if you're real.
My ship. Go ahead. Good luck.
What's she afraid about? Something I said. None of the others were really afraid of me. I can't tell yet. Nothing's happened. The meters all read 15 pounds to the square inch air pressure, but that's no good. I can't tell if I'm reading them at all. Oh. Well, the wall's solid enough. My hand hurts. That doesn't prove anything. Supposing I open my faceplate. If there's no ship and no air. All right, my faceplate's open. I'm breathing air. But then again, on the other hand, my faceplate may still be closed. Maybe I only think it's open. I can't tell. I can't tell that she isn't real. That means it's finally gotten me. It gets everyone. I don't really know if anything's real, if I'm real, if this space station is real, the planet, the universe, the galaxy. Maybe all life is in my mind. I think. Therefore I am. Yes, I remember that from school. Oh, I'm tired. I got to get back to the station. Very tired. Close my faceplate, if I ever opened it. Get back to the station. Got a headache. Terrible headache. I'm very tired.
Are you all right now? Here, drink this.
What happened?
You came in the station lock and passed out.
How long have I been out?
About 24 hours. You're a very sick man, Mr. Ord.
Reality. Very important thing, isn't it? It's the most important thing there is to learn.
Merely to you. Solitosis naturally affects what matters most to the individual, but we needn't talk about that.
But I know now. You're not real. You can't be, even though I feel you are.
How did you decide that?
I couldn't prove you weren't, not on your ship. I'm too far gone to figure out any test that'll work. But if you are real, then how did you avoid solitosis?
The only way there is. There are 48 men and women in the relief ship that's in orbit around your planet right now. I came down in the pickup rocket. We have well above the critical number of people. I keep rational by knowing they're up there in the orbit, and as soon as I'm ready, I'll take you back up there.
Well, I suppose I can wait. I don't really care if you're real or not anymore.
I know. It'll take a long while before you care.
You sound sad. What's the matter?
It's the way you look at me.
What do you mean?
What do you see when you look at me?
Well, you're strong. Sort of quietly beautiful. About my age. You're wearing a tunic and slacks. And you don't have a wedding ring. I noticed that.
That's what I thought you saw. I'm real, but not your picture of me. I'm a doctor, Mr. Ord. All first contacts with station officers are made by trained psychiatrists. I'm a doctor. And I was a girl once. But that was 40 years ago. I'm 66.
You can't be.
Oh, yes. It was very nice to be a girl again. I could see myself in your eyes, and I almost felt young again. As I grow old in the next few weeks, Mr. Ord, you'll be recovering. That will show you how your case is progressing. When you see me as I really am, you'll be all right.
Assuming you're real, Marilyn, it really must take something to come down alone to see one of us. I think I see you now, as you really are.
Captain?
Yes, Mr. Chaka.
Pickup rocket all secured from Pluto number 3.
How is the poor fellow?
Good as can be expected. He came on board with Dr. Lynn.
Uh-huh.
I'm telling you, these guys throw me. There he was, holding her hand, looking in her eyes like he was in love with her. And you know what a dried-up old bat she is?
Yes, I know. All right, Mr. Chaka. Prepare to blast off.
You have just heard X-1, presented by the National Broadcasting Company in cooperation with Galaxy Science Fiction Magazine, which this month features the Willie Lay column, Mutant of the Iron Horse, describing monorail railroads of the past and future. Galaxy Magazine, on your newsstand today. Tonight, by transcription, X-1 has brought you Hallucination Orbit, a story from the pages of Galaxy written by J.T. McIntosh and adapted for radio by Ernest Kenoy. Featured in the cast were William Redfield, John Larkin, Vera Allen, John Moore, Terry Keane, Dick Hamilton, and Hope Risman. Your announcer, Fred Collins. X-1 was directed by Daniel Sutter and is an NBC Radio Network production. National Radio Week. Recollections at 30 salutes Radio Tonight on NBC.
Hey everybody, good morning. How y'all doing? Hot coffee. Oh yeah. If you want to hear the whole episode of X-1 from this morning, please check my playlists of X-1 episodes. And you can hear the entire episode of X-1 entitled Hallucination Orbit. Right? You don't need to go out into space to hallucinate. You can do that right here on Earth. Good morning, good morning. How are ya? How are ya? Yeah. Seems like I'm tired way too much anymore. Oh, sure. Making breakfast, Joey. Well, dang it. Now I'm hungry. Don't tell me what you're making for breakfast, because I'm starving. And that would just be torture. Don't torture me. I'm just going to sit here for the next 3 hours and drink coffee. Because that's what I do in the morning. Is drink a coffee, and we'll have coffee talk. You guys want to talk? We'll talk. If not, we'll just sit here and drink coffee. It's Flashback Friday, so if you all feel like flashing back onto something, you'll just hit me up and we'll flash, man. We'll just go, wow, check it out. You know, Like the Hollywood sign, right? What's up with the Hollywood sign? 100-year birthday of the Hollywood sign, and nothing. No events, no special celebrations, no Blue Angels fly over. I mean, what the fuck, Why is the Hollywood sign not lit up like a mofo? I mean, all over the world, right? The world, all over the world. No, really. I'm wondering why we are not looking up at the Hollywood sign and seeing a holographic extension so that it says Hollywood Land, right? Just like it used to. Did you know that the sign originally, Hollywood Land, was built as a real estate developer's stunt to get people to buy homes and property? That's it. They went through, they paved a bunch of streets, they put in utilities, electricity and sewage and stuff, and then they built the Hollywood sign and said, come buy a parcel of land, right? They did the same thing in Elsinore. They put street lights and trees and paved streets all over the place before there was anyone living out there. And they said, okay, check it out. We're ready. Come buy a piece of land and build a house. And they came. So why aren't we not celebrating the Hollywood sign? Right? I don't understand. Totally. I mean, totally. Yeah. Well, for those of you who have never liked me or my body, I can agree with you. My body is revolting. Because it is revolting against me. It is. It is revolting against me. There was nothing to eat last night at home, so I went off my soup diet. And I had, what did I have? Oh, that's right. I had a couple of frozen White Castle sliders. And what did I have with it? Macaroni and cheese, frozen macaroni and cheese. What a horrible meal. It's a horrible meal, Bessie. Don't eat that stuff. She's like, are you kidding? I gotta eat kibble. Ah. Blah. I know. I'm sick of human kibble. I really am. Slave food. Slave food. Totally. I mean, Yeah. 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 I'm thinking about doing a new show. Like a drive time show, right? Kind of a morning wake up and drive show. So, I don't know how to do it. I mean, yeah, I know what to do, but I don't know how to. I'm thinking I cut the show down, the morning show, right? I cut it down to 2 hours. So I'm done here at, well, less than 2 hours, right? Maybe an hour and a half. And I'll get done, do an hour and a half of this, and then at 6:30, pull the plug on this show, and at 7, or before 7, start doing a drive time show, right? Or maybe I should do the drive time show first, and then afterward do this. I don't know. Take a break from this and do morning show for a while, morning drive time, wake up. I don't know, I just feel like I need to switch things up again. It's like every couple of months I need change. Right? About 52 cents. No, really. Oh, just enough for a pickle and a bun. Yeah. Yeah, uh-huh. Yeah. I don't know, you know. I don't know. What should I do? What should I do? And if I was going to do a morning drive time show, I would have to play music and entertainment, correct? So I was entertaining. Or I would have to be doing something funny and entertaining, just myself, right? So, reaching back to some of the morning shows from the 80s and 90s, I would really, being alone doing something like that is kind of weird, right? To have a solo morning show. This excluded because this isn't really a show. I say it's a show in the morning. Actually, it's mornings with Crazy Old Weird Bearded Guy. I say nothing about it being a show. Unless I'm referring to it. And then I refer to this as a show. Show. What are you talking about? So shut the hell up. But if I was going to do some kind of drive time entertainment show in the morning, what exactly would that be? And then how would I be able to do that? Do I do it every day? Do I start with just a Fridays? You know, Friday mornings are drive time day? Drive time Fridays? I don't know. Drive time Fridays, that doesn't sound too bad. And rather than get on here and do this, get on here and do an entirely separate show with music and comedy and I guess prank telephone calls, little stupid little skits, funny voices, right? So I guess I could try to do something like that. Ow. Right? I don't know. I'm just spitballing here. But I feel like I gotta have some kind of a change going on. Some kind of change it up a little bit. Of course, I guess it would help if I were able to use this thing here a little bit better. Now, I can't get can I get an HD signal out of my stereo? Can I? There are my instructions. Let me grab my stereo instructions. the turntable. I'll have to look through my stacks of papers and files and stuff and see if I can dig up that thing. But otherwise, I'll see if I can dig up a photo of the back of that stereo. If there's an HDMI out, then I can bring sound directly into this thing, right? Which just means that I could put a turntable here and spin old records, right? They'd have to be really old. They'd have to be the 78s that I have. Because I'm sure I would just get slammed with copyright shit left and right. Totally. 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 No, really. I am wiped out. I'm full of energy, but I got no gusto. I got no oomph. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Very disappointed in the cliffhanger 5-episode Cobra Kai situation, right? I should have remembered it from last time, 5 episodes, so that you'll have something to watch while we're finishing up the next 5 episodes. That's just, and I'm just about through with the rest of the new Lower Decks, the Star Trek show. And they just announced that in October will be the final season of Lower Decks, which is kind of a bummer, I mean, all animated shows, all of them, have pretty much given over to The Simpsons being the top show, and I hate The Simpsons. I mean, I loathe The Simpsons. The first 10 years of Simpsons was okay. It was a funny show. It was cool. It was neat. I don't get it now. I don't understand how that show can have such fucking longevity and just be so fucking dumb. It's just the same fucking gape-mouthed fucking stupid-ass potty humor, and I just don't fucking get it. I just don't get it. It's just... Why do we need to keep these people employed? Because they can't get work anywhere else doing anything else. Anything. You see any of these characters in a movie somewhere, and they're doing the same fucking shtick, only they got faces, right? It's just sad. It's really sad that the show has gone on that many fucking seasons, and people just, oh yeah, great, oh yay, yay. Ugh, I'm so fucking sick of fucking Simpsons. Just bury it already. Bring back some shows that were worth a piss. My God. I'd rather watch King of the Hill? It was a stupid show. I'd rather watch 20 seasons of that than fucking anything past 10 seasons of The Simpsons. Futurama. It was a great show created by... And what did they do? They just pissed it away, and now Hulu's rocking with it. And what do we get out of Hulu? What, 10 fucking episodes or 8 episodes? Give me a break, I want to go back to network television when they would make 24 episodes for a season, 30 episodes, 40 episodes, right? Remember back when TV shows were kicking out 45 episodes of 45 half-hour episodes a year, a season, right? And that wasn't including the summer. Yeah. And we let them get away with so much at our expense. We pay for all of this shit. Whether it's entertainment or politics or religion or the crap they sell us in the stores. You know, we're responsible for making that shit worth owning. Why? Because we can say, fuck it, I ain't gonna buy that garbage. We can all decide, you know what? We ain't buying your cars anymore because they're crap. We're gonna go out and we're gonna buy used cars the way they used to be. When you want to start making your cars like you used to make them, then we'll come back to you. But we're gonna go to these guys because they're making better cars than you now. You know, or we ain't buying any cars, period, any new cars. Not until you know, make cars that are good for the environment and good for us at the same time. And that means cars that fucking last. You know, well, stuff changes so much that we can't build cars to last, you know, to more than 20 years because then they're out of date. Then you got these old well, you know, maybe that's what people want. Maybe they want to buy something and hold on to it for 20 years for the rest of their life and not have to spend countless tens of thousands of dollars every couple of years on garbage because that's the only thing out there. Ooh. Who is even watching? King of the Hill is great, I know. I don't know who's watching The Simpsons. I don't know. The Simpsons, the movie with the big glass dome, that was it. That was the Simpsons tour de force. I thought, all right, they're gonna end on a really big bang. They're gonna have a movie. It's gonna be great. Maybe they'll just do movies from now on. I would have loved that. Every couple of years, get a Simpsons movie, but no Simpsons on TV. Over it, way fucking over it. They should have pulled the plug then when they realized they could make bank on the movies, right? I haven't even seen a glimpse of The Simpsons on TV in 10 years. You know, I don't even watch network television. My wife does. On occasion, I will sit and watch something with her, but after too many commercial breaks, I'm like, fuck this, I'm out of here. Because I don't need to be programmed. You know, I don't need all of that propaganda bullshit. You know. And I don't like Sunday nights anymore. Sunday nights used to be my night. I used to watch The Simpsons, King of the Hill, Futurama. There was another great animated show that was on, and then it went right into that 70s show and a couple of other of those great Sunday night primetime shows. And then we had the X-Files. We had, there was a great, I think later on there was a Star Trek thing. I mean, it was just a great lineup on Sunday night from like 7 to 11, right? I used to have my father, when I didn't live in the area, I would have my father just put a tape in and hit record and record the whole night for like 6 hours, right? Yeah. TV sucks now. And even the streaming shit. Yeah, you can get exactly what you want, and you can decide whether you want to watch commercials and pay a little less or whatever. It's still garbage fucking TV, right? I mean, fucking garbage. Very few shows out there are even worth the airtime, let alone my fucking time, you know? A couple of these streaming channels, they're nailing it. Most of them try real hard to cater to specific people, right? You get a lot of pride stuff, right? And a lot of standout, you know, look at us women, you know, or you know, like Showtime, they tout themselves as like the black channel, right? Because they've got all these shows devoted to a black audience, right? And it's like a lot of these streaming channels really just go out of their way to get one audience, you know, and that's just like, what? You know, what happened when a channel, a network station, or one of the cable channels was just trying to please everyone, you know? You just put stuff out there that's okay for everybody, you know? And now you got people going, I ain't watching that crap. You know, that's for those kind of people. It's like, well, what? Just keep dividing us, you know. Just keep dividing us right down the middle. Yeah. Integrate the TV shows again, you know. It's like, what the hell happened? You know, you're one black character on a show of white people, you know. One white guy on the show of, on a black show. I mean, what the hell? I don't get it. We were so close to having everything kind of mixed together like Earth is, you know. And now they're just, you know, oh, you can't like that because that's for those people. Well, stop making it specifically for one kind of person, you know. I like those shows where you can watch it and no matter who you are, you're enjoying it, you know, and you're kind of learning a little bit about that other stereotype, right? Yeah, animated shows, they're just not the same anymore. None of the shows are the same. Nothing is. News programs aren't. It's not news anymore. It's entertainment with a sprinkling of news, right? You know, there's like once a day you get like, you know, one guy on a channel. I'm Tom Brokaw. He's not even around anymore, right? You know, Stokey Pebbles, whatever, and they do news, and they don't do newstainment. You know, they don't do that. You know, we're here to talk about it and make you laugh and have funny commentary on it. You know, that's morning bullshit. I hate morning news programs. I used to enjoy Sunday morning. It's bullshit now. And then they just repeat the same bullshit stories over and over again. Much of it has just become a venue for propaganda bullshit by one side or the other, and you can decide who the sides are. You know, what's up? You want to go outside? You want to go outside? Man, it's dark and cloudy outside. Hey, no edgy. And cloudy, really cloudy. We had the swamp cooler on last night because it seems to be, we got it all working. So it was muggy all night. I slept with my air conditioner on, right? I just decided, you know what, I'm going to sleep a couple of hours. I'm just going to sleep in the front room here, you know, set up the day bed, pull the curtains, and between the air conditioner and a fan, I was okay. It was still a little muggy because we had that swamp cooler going because my wife was using it. And I got up this morning and I was just, as soon as I woke up, I felt sticky. And I was like, oh God. You know, so I turned that thing off, turned my wife's air on, closed her window, hermetically sealed her up in the room. And it's not so muggy now. It's gonna be one of those days where we ain't running that swamp cooler. You can't do it during the humid days when the dew point, when the humidity gets up, you know, past 20. And I can't have a lot of humidity with all of this computer electronic shit going on, you know, because the heat attracts the humidity and then it will just fuck my shit up, right? So but that's neat. I can, you know, with the way we've got the air set up, I can just close my vent and direct it around me, direct it that way, and then it'll, you know, nonchalantly make it back this way, a little less humid. I hear a car going by. Cargo. S-cargo. Shut up. I'm going to warm this up. Not even going to sip it. I'm going to warm it up first. Yeah, I'm out of cereal bars. I guess we're off to the... No, Wedgie. We're off to the, that dog. I bet she wants it now. Come on, big face. Bessie. Go ahead, Ship-Shan. I'll just leave it ajar so she can bring herself in. Come on, buddy, you want to sit here with me? Huh? Do the Ethiopian shim-sham. All right. So let's see. Next week, I have one more day to load up, and next week is in the can. Today, I have to load up today. Four videos, 2 old-time radio shows, and then 2 educational films. That should be pretty easy. Everything is created already. Last night aired another episode of That's Incredible, and I've got a couple of episodes more for the month of August. I also have a few more episodes of In Search Of, and I'm just going to kind of let them wear themselves out and then stick educational films in their slots. Hi. And let it go like that. And then I think we're going to finish off the summer with just kind of continuing with this kind of programming. You know, half of the programming will be old-time radio, half of the programming, well, a third of the programming old-time radio, a third of the programming educational films from the day, and then a third of the programming will be original content, live stuff, and uploaded videos and that kind of stuff. Let me deal with dog face here. Desert Plains, baby. What's I'm going to go back to bed? I'm going to go back to bed. Hi, Bessie. Good morning. You have food and water. Okay. Well, I think the dogs are situated for the time being, which means probably about 10 minutes. Before more feet start tickety-tack ticking around, and yeah, and then I'll be up moving again. Yeah, where the fuck was I? High Desert Plains. So let's see, projectuses. What am I working on? Today is Friday. Not much going on this weekend, so we'll probably be trying to work on some kind of project. And it's nice and cloudy. It means sticky and humid, but it means shade. It means a cooler temperature overall. So I think we're going to probably try to take advantage of that and do some outdoor projects, right? If I can get my wife to clear out a part of the yard so that we can put some dirt down and level it, then, you know, all right, you move stuff and I'll grab the wheelbarrow and start moving some dirt, right? And I'll get a bunch of dirt moved up, level it all out, put up some 2x4s so that we can border stuff in, right? And see how far we get, right? I guess I'll have to put the new tags on my van, and go to the hardware store and probably get us a couple of bags of crushed, decomposed, like granite type stuff, that after you pack the dirt down, then you put down a nice layer of that, and then start stacking your stones in. And it's kind of an oddball yard. It's a really odd shape. There's not one, the only square angles there are around the shed right out there. So that's what we're going to use to keep everything square. We'll square it up to the shed, all the way around the shed, and then wherever let the bricks fall where they may, right? And just, stack them out and stagger them out and try to block them in, stake them in so that everything stays tight and snug. And I imagine I'll probably be driving a lot of wooden stake wedges at the ends of block rows to keep things tight, because it'll be staggered, and rather than try to put a block or a piece of wood in there to keep it straight, just go ahead and stagger them in, and then just pound some stakes in to keep them tight, and then on the straight sides I can flush them in with some 2x4. Yeah, I'm real excited about doing that. Getting some kind of outdoor kitchen created, because we live in the desert, so for most of the year we can do outdoor cooking, right? And if there's something that's, semi-covered and has most of the utilities in one spot outside, like a little barbecue island type thing, then it should be no trouble to go out there and cook, 2 meals a day out there. And I'll have it set up in here so that we can cook 3 meals a day inside if we want. It'll just be limited to, some hot plates and electric skillets and electric oven, that kind of thing. Keep it simple so that we can rip the kitchen out and remodel. Just gut it. Just fucking gut it. Just rip it out. Oh, I got a message from Joey here. See, now you're teasing me, you fucker. You are a fucker. Oh, well, I had that yesterday. Okay, is that eggs? Is that their scrambled eggs? That looks pretty good. And those whole potatoes, that's nice. So you made that? Wow. That's great. So Joey just sent me a photo of his breakfast, because I said, don't send me a photo because it's torture. And what did he do? He sent me a photo. But it looks like Joey is a pretty good cook. So, well, what the hell? He's part of the family, right? Any family of mine's got to be a good cook. Right on, brother. So yeah, that's some nice. So that was eggs that I was looking at there. Yeah, right. See, good stuff. Those look like some very seasoned eggs. I had potatoes and eggs and sausage yesterday. My wife did whole shredded potatoes, boiled slightly to loosen them up a little bit, and then fried them in butter, and made little potato cakes. And then scrambled egg with cheese and some Foster Farms sausage. Or was it Farmer John's? I think it was Farmer John's. It was Farmer John's. So that was yesterday. You're eating yesterday's breakfast for me. Today, I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to eat today. I try not to worry too much about it, which gets me into trouble, because then I don't eat anything. But I usually try to have something simple like a cereal bar, and I'm out of those. I could have like a half a bagel or something, but it's just unappealing. I'm not even really into eggs anymore because my taste buds are destroyed. But yesterday's scrambled egg with a little bit of cheese in it was really, really good with those potatoes and that sausage. It was a perfect little combo, you know. Great stuff. But I don't even feel hungry, which is a bad sign, because usually I should be starving right now, especially after seeing the picture of that food. Thank you very much. But no, I'm not. I don't, you know. Like I said, me and food are kind of on the outs. Oh, holy hell. No, I was just looking at a picture of this travel thing here from AAA, and it's almost got your breakfast on there. It's got the whole fried potatoes here, right? And then it's got these, it looks like some kind of tapas with eggs. Oh, they're kind of an Eggs Benedict looking thing, is what they are. That's what they are. I can see the ham and the egg and the hollandaise sauce. So that's an Eggs Benedict there, which is kind of what I've been craving lately. I don't think I've had Eggs Benedict since the 80s, right? So I'm kind of excited about trying some Eggs Benedict. Now, when my daughter was in high school, she took some culinary training, part of her adulting, right? And one of the things that they did was a hollandaise sauce and an Eggs Benedict, right? She said the teacher wasn't all that great. She had a couple of teachers that just weren't there, right? They just wanted you to do the work and hand the work in, and they didn't really want to teach. They didn't want kids to ask questions. They just wanted them to take notes and answer test questions, that kind of stuff. But they don't want kids to ask questions. You know, look, why does this? Why do we have to? Why does this, that, and this? You know, and it's like, Dad, don't be a rebel. Just put your head down and shut up. And my daughter got called a rebel because she asked questions, and she would confront the teacher and say, hey, you know, if you're, you know, why aren't you, you know, teaching? You know, like that famous video on the internet of that long-haired kid telling his teacher, you know, to teach and don't just hand out packets, you know. And he got kicked out of the class, probably kicked out of the school, because he wanted to learn, and he wanted a back and forth with the teacher. He didn't just want to show up, walk into class, grab a packet off of her desk, sit down, do the packet, and hand the packet and walk. That's she might as well just phone her job in, right? Why even show up? Why not just, you know, have FedEx drop off some packets every morning? What the fuck? Yeah. So, yeah, I totally agree with kids who want to learn and teachers who just want to phone it in. They're just not there. They don't care, you know. How horrible, right? 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 So, I had trouble in school with a lot of teachers like that who, rather than try to phone it in, they would only, they felt they were only required to teach specific students in the class, right? It's only students that are making it, all right? Well, you're a football player, you're a cheerleader, you're on the student politics, whatever the hell that is. ASB, Associated Student Body, right? So if you fell between the cracks, right? If you were not a great student, you didn't look the part, you didn't dress the part, you didn't, you know, have regular, you know, laundry facilities, then you were looked down on, you know. And there was a handful of us in every class where we weren't even given the fucking time of day by the teachers, let alone the students, right? We had to act out to be noticed, because otherwise, you had to, even if you were a better student than any of these other fuckheads, right? Even if you were a better student, it didn't matter, because he didn't care. He or she did not care. You weren't worth their time because you were a specific type of person that they felt, you're not going to make it anyway. You're never going to graduate. You don't have what it takes. Look at you. You're never going to go to college and get a good job. That's the way they looked at you, and you read it in their eyes. You read it in their face. So there were only a handful of teachers throughout my whole academic career that I could actually want to go to school to interact with. Otherwise, it was like, fuck it. What's the point? These fuckheads are just here to do a job. They've already burned themselves out. They no longer want to teach for the reasons they wanted, for the reasons they got into teaching. They're beyond that now, especially those who had to spend a lot of time being a substitute teacher before they would get a permanent gig somewhere, right? Those substitute teachers would get burned out so quick by the time, if they were ever able to get a permanent, steady teaching job, they were cuckoo, right? Because they've already ridden that fucking roller coaster too many times. So I haven't had a cigarette in like over 10 years, right? I'm dying for a cigarette. I would kill for a cigarette. I've got cigarettes. I could open up a drawer right now, pull a cigarette out. That's not the point. Of course, they're non-filters, and they're years old. They're just props. They're unopened, but they're just props. Yeah. Yeah. Someday I'll have a cigarette. Perhaps my last day, if I have any inkling that it is going to be my last day, then I will be puffing on a cigarette right after a big joint. And any other kind of poison I can think of to do, like I'm talking like booze, right? Maybe a little toot, right? Who was that guy? That Aldous Huxley, was that who it was? Oh crap. Maybe, well, I'm going to say it was Aldous Huxley, the guy who wrote Brave New World, right? About, is that what it's called? God, am I screwing shit up? But the novel that later became like a British miniseries type thing, it was about where medication, pharmaceuticals, propaganda, training, mind shit had become the way. And if you didn't do that, then you were like living on garbage out in the world where it was all hell, right? So you either lived a perfect life, but you had to be medicated, or you lived this life where you could probably starve to death or die of, gangrene if you cut yourself. But I believe it was Aldous Huxley who, on his deathbed, asked for some LSD, right? And he spent his last moments on this planet tripping balls, right? Wow. I'm pretty sure that was the guy. I think it was the guy, yeah. And so it made me think, well, gosh, maybe I want to put together a little kit, right? A little end-o-me kit, right? It's like, all right, look, you're going out. It's obvious, things are falling off, things are green, or whatever the cause may be. Halfy is missing now. It can't be long. I want to put together a little kit, that is, okay, when it's time, and I'm saying, give me my kit, it should probably contain, you know, some really expensive alcohol for a shot, a really nice cigarette, like an English Oval or something that's a really nice cigarette, something, you know, a really nice bud, a little toot, a little coke, some really good pure cocaine, maybe a little mushrooms, right? And it just, you know, and then some visuals, some audio, some stimuli, you know, some, you know, where's my favorite movie, you know, I want my favorite music in the background, you know, I want to get a good buzz going, you know, if I'm going to go out, I'm going to go out going up, right? The hell, it might save me. Just keep giving him coke and mushrooms. Look, he's living longer. I'm just spitballing here. But wouldn't that be neat? So I was like, a couple of years ago, it dawned on me, you know what, maybe I should start putting together a little end of the world kit for whatever purposes, right? Porpoises, now he's talking about dolphins. They're not dolphins. Yeah, a little end of the world kit. You know, oh look, there's that giant asteroid going to kill the planet. Well, hey, let's bust open that kit. You know, kind of like an end-all first aid kit, right? I gotta warm it up. Cheese. 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 Not hat cheese again. Come on. Okay, so like, for sure, you know. Yeah. Oh my God, no way. Yeah, like for sure, no way. I can't even go there. No way. Gag me with your fist. Stop saying that. Oh my God. Oh my God. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Whew. I need more ink. I like to print stuff out on my printer. I don't do photos. I like to send photos out to be printed because these printers, they never print out a photo right. You want them to, but they don't. So we send photos out. We go to Walgreens and say, print this photo, please. Totally. Arr. Oh, yeah. Yeah, some kind of morning drive time, you know. When are people in the car driving? When are they on their way to work? From 6 to 8? Is that drive time? From 6 to 8? I guess. But, you know, I would have to have specific topics. I would have to have sound effects. I would have to have musical excerpts that I could use. Comedy bits. Music, a lot of music. And then what kind of music am I going to play? I'm going to play the same music I play at nighttime. Because that music I can play copyright free, right? I can't monetize my channel, but I can play that music. So if I did a morning show, Michael's Morning Madness, Monday, you know, Michael's Morning, I don't know. I like to keep the initials in the threes, right? Totally Television Tuesday, Monday Movie Memories, or Throwback Thursday. Flashback Fridays, right? Monday Morning Madness. I would have to come up with a whole list of things to do. I would have to have phone numbers of people and places that I could call, right, live, and fuck with, right? I'd have to sit here and write comedy skits for myself to interact with random people at any given time. That would be interesting. That would be a challenge. That would be fun. I like those things, the challenging things. Yeah. I don't know. I rather enjoy this. Where am I going to put this in, what time slot does this show then get? Do I take a break from this show and do that show for a while? I don't know. I need this. I don't know that I need 3 hours of this, but I need this. And I need it in the morning because that's when my head is like so full that I need to empty it. I don't need to drag around all those thoughts that you have when you're first waking up and your brain is fresh and you're thinking about all of that basically I get up and mortality hits me because as soon as I open my eyes, I start to reconnect with my pain. So by the time I get up at 4 a.m., by the time I get here at 5 a.m., I'm already sitting here trying to kill pain, because if I let it take over, it will. If I let it get out of control, it'll just eat me alive. And so it's a regular, pain management is a regular thing that starts as soon as I wake up. And I drink the coffee to counter effect the amount of marijuana that I have to smoke to battle the pain, basically. And it's not just pain, back pain, neck pain, muscle pain, arthritis pain. It's emotional pain. It's gut pain. It's, waking up and really realizing that this world is fucked. And no matter how much one person screams, it's never going to change, And it's getting smacked with all of these things when you first wake up in the morning, first of which is pain that awakens you to all of these other things in your head, right? Yeah, ow. Friggin' ow. Yeah, that's right, buddy. So, good old pain. Do I want to do that? No. Do I want to have all the pain? No. Do I want to deal with the pain the way? Well, I've tried to deal with it their way. I've taken the pills. I've done the pointless rehabilitation crap. Of course, I could have had surgery that would have done nothing for the pain, would have given me less mobility, and I would have had to have recovered from all of that on my own with no income, because they've used up all the money, right? So my only chance was to take what money was left, buy a car, and go to school and rehabilitate myself, which is what I did. And I did great for a few years, rehabilitated myself at school, and then went out and started my own, after a couple of jobs, started my own handyman company, and did great until I got a car accident. And then it doubled down on my spine, basically, and it was like, you know what, I all of a sudden I can't do the things that I just retrained myself to do again. I can't keep rebounding. My body's not able to keep rebounding like that. And then I got hit with a bunch of other health issues, which caused me to just stop doing handyman work altogether and just clean houses. That's all I do now. I scrub toilets, mop floors, wash dishes, scrub counters. That's it. And I won't do anything else. That's the job for the rest of my life. If I'm not here, if I'm not doing that, I ain't doing a fucking thing. Yeah, I'm either working for home or I'm working for good people, right, who allow me the freedom to be me, you know. It's just cleaning houses, exactly. So I don't need anybody standing over me going, scrub that toilet, right? Yeah. Because people like to micromanage. I find myself micromanaging others. So I just don't. So I don't want to be a supervisor, a boss, a manager, or any of that. No. If you're going to work with me, just do your fucking job. Don't make me be a boss, right? Just, if you're working with me, work with me. Don't work against me. Don't force me to be some guy pointing down at you saying, do this right? That's what's great about working with my wife. You know, we've been working together since before we got married. And it's perfect. You know, it's all kinds of give and take. You know, we're just there to help each other. You can't find that with anyone. I can't find that with anyone else. I've tried to do that with people. You know, hey, just, you know, it's a real easy job. Don't make me have to come behind you and tell you to wipe this or scrub that or do this or do that. Because I don't want to do that. You know, if you're an adult, you know, in your fucking 50s, one should not have to be told how to fucking wipe a fucking counter down, right? It's like, get your head out of your ass, and don't make me have to tell you to get your head out of your fucking ass, you know? You should be old enough to fucking do that. And then cop an attitude because you can't wipe a fucking counter right? I'm sorry, I'm going into a thing. Yeah. Give me a fucking break. Going into a thing about a past thing that pissed me off. Yeah, see? You know, that's the thing. If you go into it and everybody knows that this is not your thing, you don't want to be that guy, don't make me be that guy, just do your job. You usually find most of the people are going to not want you to be that guy, and they're just going to do their job. And then you get a couple of fucking idiots that make you have to be that guy. Oh, I hate that. Yeah. I hate being that fucking guy. I'm never going to be that fucking guy again, you know. If I'm going to do a project, I'm going to work with people. I ain't going to have people working for me, you know. Even if I'm fucking paying you know. And especially if I'm paying you, you better have your head out of your fucking ass and be knowing what the fuck you're doing. Don't make me come along and fucking micromanage you, because I may as well just fucking do it myself, right? And then you do that, you know. You got guys working for you right alongside of you that can't do a fucking thing without you telling them, all right, you're done with that, now go do this. Oh, okay. So are you done with that? Yeah, I'm done with that. So why didn't you go on to that? Because you didn't tell me to. What the fuck? You know, it's all about, here's your fucking, it's your last paycheck. Get the fuck out of here. You know, get the fuck out. You know, that's me as a boss. Giving people a lot of pink slips and a lot of last paychecks. You know, but it's my first check. Well, it's your last check too. Get the fuck out of here. You know, make me fucking follow you around. Yeah, I was always a working supervisor, Joey. That's the way to do it. If you're working right alongside them, then they got no complaining about, well, he tell you Doug walks in and bosses people around and then leaves and goes sits on his phone and then fuck that. No. Do you ever, any one of you sons of bitches ever see me on my fucking phone while I'm working? Do you ever see me taking breaks just specifically so I can sit on my fucking phone? No. So I don't want to ever see any of you on your phone. When you clock in, you clock out on your fucking phone. Period. End of fucking story. Do you ever get any of that? Guys who just are constantly pulling their phone out and constantly doing shit. You know, you're constantly hearing bleeps and bloops and bloops everywhere, and people pulling out their phones. It's like, no, when I'm working and I'm working with someone, and it's like an important job, corporate, no, You come to work and you turn that fucking phone off. They need to get in touch with you. They know where you work. They can call me. They can call the office, and we'll get in touch with you. You know, it ain't your fucking right. It's a privilege to have a fucking phone at work nowadays. It ain't your right to be on your fucking phone 24/7. You do that shit at home. You want to be on your fucking phone, you do that shit at home in your car after hours. I don't want to see you in your fucking car doing 3 fucking breaks, smoking cigarettes and fucking swiping. You know? I'll swipe you the fuck out of here. You're gone, motherfucker. No, you get one warning with me. If I see you on that thing again, it's gone or you're gone. Period. You give me the fucking phone, or I give you your last fucking pay and you get the fuck out of here. You know, you're not getting paid to do your social fucking activities. And that's all phone is, right? It's social bullshit, right? If it's an emergency, they know where you work. They'll call me. They'll call your boss. They'll call the company, you know? Yeah, see those introverts, you know? They just stay focused on shit. They just want to do it, get on and move and get to whatever else they want to do later, right? Fucking A, introverts. Yeah, that's a thing with me. Look, you get one warning. I see you on that phone again and you're gone. I don't care. I'll finish this fucking shit by myself. All right? You're fucking gone. I'll call our boss and say, I'm not working with the son of a bitch who's going to be on his phone the whole fucking time. How dare you rat me out to the boss? How dare you make me do all the fucking work? Fuck you. Phones. Phones are the fucking worst thing to happen to fucking humanity. Phones. The new phones, smartphones, modern phones, cell phones. That shit needs to be left the fuck at home. Left in your car. You know, I don't know how many times I've told people, leave it in your car. If you can't be trusted to pull it out every 5 fucking seconds and look at it to see if you got a fucking message and then deal with that, leave it the fuck in your car. You can deal with it on break, and I'll tell you when you can have a break. You don't fucking come to me and say, I'm gonna have a break now. Fuck you. You ain't the boss. You're an employee. I.e., you do what the fuck you're told, right? And you're told to stay the fuck off your phone and work. If you can't do that, you can't get paid. Period. You know? Okay, here's your 6 hours pay. I worked 8.5 hours today. No, you worked 6 hours and you were on your phone for 2.5 hours. Here's your 6 hours pay. Get the fuck out of here. Thank you very much. Period. End of story. Goodbye. There's 100 other people out there waiting, begging to get a fucking job. And you're going to show up here and then be on your phone. Fuck you. Fuck you. And then get pissed off at me because I don't allow it? What do you mean? What do you mean I can't do whatever the fuck? I'm entitled. Entitled my foot up your ass. That's what you're entitled to. Yeah, I'm a team player, you know. If I'm a team leader, then I'm working right alongside of you, you know. And if you ain't, you know, if your whole thing is, you know, don't make me fucking micromanage. Don't make me be your mother. Get off the phone and go to work now. You know, if I got to do that once, you better understand it, because I ain't going to fucking do it again. Hey, you got a minute? Come here. Well, what's going on, man? Yeah, didn't I tell you to stay off your phone? Yeah, but I don't give a fuck. I told you to stay the fuck off your phone. You know? I said use your phone during your breaks only. And what happens? Well, it was an emergency. Bullshit. Bullshit. There ain't no fucking emergencies, right? If it's an emergency, why are you still the fuck here? All right? You know? No, I don't go in for that bullshit. I'll swipe you the fuck out of here. An emergency. Right. You had to make a bid on eBay? No. I don't fucking go for that fucking bullshit. You can live your life without a fucking phone in your fist. You can walk around without doing this. Right? Fucking morons. Get your head out of your fucking asses, world. It just sickens me to no end. And the fact that people have to be told, put the phone down and go to work. But the phone is a part of my job. Look, I'm scanning stuff. Yeah, but that ain't the work phone. It's your phone. Oh gosh. Bullshit. It's bullshit. Don't even fucking try to convince me that you need to be on your phone during business hours. If you're on the clock, if I'm paying you, I'm not paying you to be on your phone. If I see that phone in your hand at any time during the day, I'll dock you an hour. I was only on it a second. I don't give a fuck. It'll keep you off your phone, huh? You just lost an hour's pay. You know, if you hear me whistle from across the job site, right? And you make eye contact with me, just know that you lost another hour's pay. Period. You know? If you want me to micromanage you, I will. At your expense. You're paying for it. Every time I get to micromanage you, you owe me an hour. See how long that lasts. You know? You leave your phone in your fucking car, and then you're not tempted by that little fucking devil. Where's my little devil? That little devil that's going to get you in trouble? Because the devil ain't lazy. No, no, no. Yeah. Fucking idiots. Fucking idiots. No. No, 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 no. And then there are those people who you require them to do their job to assist you, and they're on their phone. Right? It's like, dude, you're a mechanic. Mech. Work. You know? It's taking you this long because you're always on that fucking phone. Get a goddamn answering service. Get a receptionist. You know, get your kid to sit there and answer the fucking phone. Sorry, daddy's working. Sorry, daddy's wrenching. Sorry, daddy's doing his job. Sorry, whatever you gotta fucking do to stay working on my fucking car, do it. But get off of your fucking phone. You know? Motherfucker. Or driving. If you're gonna drive, then fucking drive. You don't need your phone. You don't need your phone. We never needed our phones to drive before we had phones in the car, right? We'd pull over, we'd open up a map, we'd look at the map and go, I gotta make a left in 3.5 miles. We'd fold that fucking map up and we'd start driving again. If we needed to make a phone call, we pulled over and used a phone, right? Which is what people should do when they need to make a phone call. If everybody who was on their phone while they was driving pulled over, the streets would be empty. Right? Because everybody's on their fucking phone. Everybody would be pulled over. Right? They don't care. They don't fucking give a shit. You know? They don't care about themselves. They put themselves in danger. They don't care about us. They put us in danger. Right? I don't even trust the hands-free. Because people cannot have a fucking phone conversation and not be so invested in that conversation as to lose track of whatever it is they're fucking doing. Right? Because people can't do fucking two things at once anymore. Right? You would think so. Right? With all of the things there are to do with your hands and your eyes and your brain. But no, people can't even fucking scratch themselves and blow a bubble at the same fucking time anymore. It's horrible. 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 Yeah. I hate it. Oh, look, lava lamp cam. It's looking really, really good. It's really, really good this morning. It's a going crazy. It's a crazy lava lamp. Very cool. Totally cool. Totally cool. Yeah. I got rid of the shaky camera. This used to be the Shakes cam. That one used to vibrate like it was an earthquake. I had it out on a shelf bracket, hanging out on the end of a shelf bracket. And it was just a little too wiggly out there. So I mounted it on a tripod. I mounted that camera on a tripod top. The little top of the tripod that's got the camera connector and the all of the adjustments to go up and down and left and right and to tilt it. And so I've got all of that attached to a wooden bracket that I created and attached to my shelving. So it's really strong and sturdy now. And I'm just about ready to give it a better angle, give it a better look, right? Because that corner's all right, you know. It says a lot in that little corner, but it's too crowded and cluttered and kind of a weird angle. So I'll get that straightened out. Put the old radio in there, and it'll be really neato. I think I'm gonna have to do some more coffee this morning. So let's see. Today, I am going to be uploading the last day of next week, Friday. Next Friday, I've got to upload, and then I have the whole week in the can, and I can work on the promos. And what else? Yeah, that should be pretty easy to get. It's only 4 videos. And get that, and then I've got to do my intros for the nighttime nonsense and nostalgia, the intros and exits. I've got to switch up the commercials and the program guide. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to make 5 files, video files, editing files, so that each week I can just take out the old promo guide and drop in the new promo guide and shuffle the commercials a little bit, but pretty much use the same stuff every week, because nobody's, I mean, it's not like I'm getting hit with a bunch of people saying, hey, how come I keep watching the same stuff every week? Not enough people are watching for it to matter what it is that I play every day, right? I can play the same, pull from the same pool of music and news and commercials and stuff, and just keep mixing it up. So you never hear the same thing 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 days in a row. I try to keep track of it enough so that I don't play things over and over and over again. But the commercials I'm not so worried about, you know, because commercials are played over and over and over again. So I'll just mix them up. A lot of fun. Fun on a bun. Yeah. Go scratch. But I guess I'll drink some more coffee, and then I'll do my after the show here, I'll load up my last 4 videos and then keep working on old time radio videos for the next 3 weeks. And basically it's just the Wednesday videos, the 2 extra Wednesday videos every day. So while I only need 1 extra video per show this month, like I need 2 shows for my extra Wednesday shows, and then the following week I'll need 2 different shows, and then the following I'll need 2 different, and then 2 different. So I'm working on those shows, those different shows, the Lone Ranger and Escape, that kind of stuff that we don't listen to every week. So I'm putting together 5 or 6 episodes of those so I can just pull from them, and I'm trying to create more than I use, so that eventually I can take a break from creating, right, and just upload, and that'll give me the time to create other stuff, because I really do want to create other stuff. I just haven't had that imaginative yearn, that creative push, you know. It just hasn't been there. Well, when I feel crappy, when my health is shitty and I feel low down, I don't want to do anything. I mean, honestly, I feel lucky to be here in the mornings, and I feel privileged to be able to do that nighttime thing. Because most days I'm running on fumes, and having only gotten a few hours sleep the night before, and most evenings I'm waking up from a horrendous nap of like 4, maybe 6 hours. If I'm really lucky, more than 4 hours. But I'm waking up at like 4 p.m., right, to do the 5 o'clock show, and I don't want to get up. It's like I have to get up and physically stand up. And once I come in here and I turn on a computer, I'm awake. But until I drag my ass out of bed in the middle of the day, I don't want to get up. I could honestly sometimes, and I have, when I've been totally run down, like after a concert, I'll sleep a whole fucking day. Get up, be up just long enough, an hour or two, to eat something, and then go right back to sleep, and I am just drained. And it's been like that a lot lately. I've been drained a lot. I'm just old, used up. Ain't much left here. And I keep using up more and more and more, going out and doing stuff, having fun, Trying to convince my daughter that, look, we have to get a room for the Killers show. Wherever, whatever, it doesn't matter. We have to get a room. I cannot drive 4.5 hours out there and then go to a concert and have fun. Or go to a concert and even enjoy it. Or even, I'll be asleep. But if we can drive out there, even if we drive out there late, she's got orientation the day we're driving out. So we're going to drive out late. We'll check in late. We'll get some sleep. We'll be able to sleep in because we're not checking out the next day. We can poke around Vegas and do a couple of things, go back to the room, take a nap, and then go to the show. And then come back to the room and get some good sleep for the drive home the next day, right? And that's the only way that I can do a trip like that, because it's such a far drive. If it was a 2-hour drive, it would be different. 2, maybe 3 hours max one way, I could deal with it. But we're looking at 4.5, 5 hours one way. That's 10 hours round trip, plus the 5 hours at the show, right? The getting there early, the leaving. That's a 15-hour day. And even a couple of years ago, I would be able to do that. No problem. But not now. And my daughter doesn't drive. So it's not like we can trade off driving, right? Which is not a bad thing. I mean, I don't mind. I don't mind being the driver. I prefer to be the driver on long distance stuff because I'm just a machine, But, yeah. Gonna have to get a room. I can't believe it's already August 2nd. 8 months into this fucking year. I'm just so old, used up. So much I want to do, and I just haven't got the me to do it anymore. It's really all I can do to stay awake most of the time anymore. And then when I sleep, I can only sleep 3 or 4 hours, and then I'm wide awake again until I'm not, after, about 4 or 5 hours. And it used to be, all right, I can get up. I mean, just a short while ago, it was sleep 4 hours, awake for 8 hours, sleep for 4 hours, awake for 8, and then that was fine, worked great. And I can't even do that anymore. I can't even stay awake I'm going to get done with this show and I'm going to be exhausted, and it will only be 4 hours awake, right? And I fear that at some point it's going to reverse, and I'm going to be doing a couple of hours awake and a large chunk sleeping, 6 to 8 hours sleeping, and then a couple of hours awake and then a big chunk sleeping. Because that's the way I feel, you know. I just feel so drained all the time. Yeah, there's probably something really, really seriously wrong with me. But I would have to go to an untrustworthy doctor, and I'm tired of walking into a doctor's office and have him not even look me in the eye, not even talk to me, right, just be completely impersonal and just prescribe some medication. Well, let's see if this works. But you didn't even do anything, you know? My gosh. Are you going to do something? Or are you just going to write out a prescription and then go next? Because that's the way it feels, you know? Because that's the way it feels. And I look into their eyes, and I honestly, I can't trust what I see. I can't trust their eyes. If I can't trust their eyes, I can't trust them, you know? And it's like, yeah, they know something. They know something that we don't, right? And that's why they're doctors, right? But I think they also know something that we don't. And that's what has had them, that's what's made them check out. It's like they know something. Whether they know something about us as individuals or humanity as a whole, they know that, maybe they know that it's pointless, right? Maybe they know that the planet does need to be whittled down, you know, and we need a population, we need to counteract the population boom, right? How do we do that? Well, we let diseases and stuff run rampant, you know. Or we use medicine to cull the herd, right? And I think that's what they're doing now. You know, you get all these prescription medications, and then all of a sudden people are dying from these prescription medications, and there's a class action lawsuit. They would rather pay money than to have the population increase, right? It's like, let's whittle the population down. All right, well, let's get rid of all the people with thyroid disease and diabetes and cancer and all of that. Well, how do we do that? Well, we pretend to cure them. We give them crap. We give them things that just mask the symptoms, but don't really cure, right? We can cure them, but if we cure them, how many people are we going to have on this planet now? So they don't cure anybody. They just let people die, but they let them die with masked symptoms, right? You know, or gosh, we didn't even realize that he had a brain aneurysm, you know, caused by the very thing that we were giving him to treat this other thing that could have been dealt with a lot easier. But because the medical industry has to make their 2 fucking cents out of us, you know, yeah. They have to, you know, use all of this bullshit just so they can get their money, you know, even though it doesn't do anything. Nobody's gonna fucking live. Nobody's gonna get cured from these things, you know, very few, just, you know, just enough, the easy ones, just enough to make it look like you got hope. Yeah, hope this, rip my insides out and radiate me, and then say, okay, now go live, you know, as, you know, a common cold kills you because they've totally destroyed your immune system. Radiation. Fuck, are we still that fucking backwards, right? We have all of this technology and all these things and all these cures, but we won't use them. Why? Because there's money to be made off of this other crap. And we got to keep the population down, you know. Far be it for every human to regulate their own fucking reproductive system, right? No. Some people need to be told, stop having babies. If you're not going to stop, we're going to stop you. All right? Look, you've had 3 kids. If you have another one, we're taking one away. All right? Because you're taking one away from somebody else by having more than 2 kids. All right? Yeah, people need to be corked up. They need to be tied off. They need to be told what not to do. And then it needs to be enforced, right? Because people have too many freedoms now. And they feel too entitled to be able to do whatever the fuck they want to do. Even if it means shitting on the person next to you, right? The person next to you can't have kids, right? Because you're using up all of the resources with your 12 fucking kids. And so now, with your 12 kids, 10 other families now are going to struggle because you're using up all of these resources. And that's the way it boils down. This balance, that's the way it boils down. You know? Stop having so many fucking kids. You want to have more than 2 kids? Adopt. Right? I mean, spay and neuter your pets. Spay and neuter your fucking humans. Period. Because we got enough people. We have way more than enough people on the planet to deal with anything that the universe throws at us, right? We don't need any more. Unless we're being bred as cattle, right? And we're just trying to beef up the numbers so that when the alien overlords come down to collect, there's enough bodies to give them and still have enough down here to reproduce and create another batch for their feeding or whatever it is they use us for, right? Because that's what I see. Why else would we allow the population to get so out of fucking control, right? Because we're just cattle. They're just fattening up this planet for, you know, the sale, right? For the big party. We're just a barbecue, right? And it'll take another couple of thousand years for us to breed up some more humans so that when they roll around again, you know, when their planet comes back close to us again, they can shoot on over and feed and change and do whatever they want, and then leave a little religion for us so that the few people remaining will go, now we know what happened and we know what to tell the future. And then we read these books 1,000 years later and go, wow, man, what the fuck does it mean, right? Maybe the pyramids were a weapon used to fight these fuckers off. Who knows? Who fucking knows, man? I just know that population is out of control. We know it's out of control. We're destroying the planet because of it, yet we do nothing about it. And those who we put into charge to take care of us, they let it go crazy. Why? Because the more idiots they have, the more idiots they can control. Period. I got a coffee up here. Totally. I mean, totally. Yeah, for sure. Talk about radiation. It's a microwave radiation, right? All right, no wedgie. Oh, I'm back. I'm back, baby. Yeah. I mean, my daughter may decide to never have children because of, you know, the way the world is, you know. And why? Because she's smart, you know, because she's an intelligent person. she may decide, why. With things as bad as they are, had I been in the now back when we decided to have children, I may have had second thoughts, right, about bringing someone into this world as fucked up as it is, And I feel like I should apologize to her, for the condition of the world that I brought her into. It's my fault. It's your fault. It's our fault. It's everybody's fucking fault. We did this, The children didn't do this. The adults did this. I am responsible as much as the next. At some point, she'll be responsible, but not as much as the ones who fucked it up before. I think I gotta check a dog situation here. Get up here. Come on, get up here. Let me get your blanket. Come on, stay there. Let me get your blanket. Get your blanket off the daybed here. There you go. Here's Sam's big blanket. There you go, buddy. Oh, there you go. Hi, buddy. Hi, sweetie puss. Hi, sweet lips. What a buddy. What a good boy. Hi, buddy. You gonna stay there and go to sleep? All right, you go to sleep. Good boy. Good boy. Ah, it's my buddy. Fucking humanity, How can a species who can imagine so much, right, accomplish so very little, right? With as much good as humanity can do, most of what we do is horrible, right? And especially politics and religion and that kind of stuff. Why? Because we use those things to justify, right, having done all of these bad, or we allow ourselves to do these bad things and then absolve ourselves of any wrongdoing, right? Humanity is, what's the point, right? All of this technology and intelligence and science, and we just constantly fucking hump the bunk. We constantly screw it up. Earth, FUBAR. That's it. That's the name of the planet should be FUBAR. Fucked up beyond all recognition. It should have been this, right? And instead, we got sold this. And we just bend over and take it. Give it to me, give it to me, give it to me. Nah, don't bother greasing me up. Just give it to me. Come on. Come on. We invest all of this time and energy and money and resources and people, human hours into these follies, right? It's like, well, what? I'm a science guy. I'm a science fiction guy. I'm a, space exploration guy. And why the fuck are we spending so much time and energy and effort and resources on space travel, right? That is not the future of humanity. The future of humanity is this fucking planet that we're screwing up, period. You take all of that time and effort and energy and money and resources and put it into taking care of the planet, right? Okay, for 5 years, we're going to stop having babies and we're going to start planting trees, right? That's it. Rather than take all of the cow shit and manure and food that's composted and all of that stuff, rather than take it and bag it up and sell it back to us, right? Why not take that stuff and use it to fertilize areas that need to be fertilized, right? I mean, for cripe's sake, right now in the deserts, on the other side of the planet, they're growing grass in the deserts, right? They're taking barren wasteland and introducing cattle and grains and stuff, and are turning it into grasslands again, right? Because we have the technology to do this, you know. Why are we deforesting when we should be reforesting? We should be reforesting twice as fast as we're deforesting. If we have to deforest, well then let's fucking plant. Let's double down on the planting. And that's not going to happen. We've got giant plains that dump water on fires. They could just as easily dump water on hillsides with saplings, right? Why don't we introduce beaver into areas that need forests? You introduce trees, and then you introduce beaver and running water, and pretty soon you have groundwater again. You have above groundwater, and then you have below groundwater, and then you have a watershed, and then you have trees. You know, animals and wildlife starts to come back. You know, and what do? We rip that shit out. And we throw down tract homes. Right? And then they stay empty because people can't afford to live in that shit. Right? You want to fix this planet? I can sit here, just a doofus guy like me, I can sit here and come up with 20 fucking ways to fix this fucking planet. Implement half of these fucking things and we're done. We're saved. Period. You know, 5 years. A 5-year plan. Nobody has kids for 5 years. Is that so hard? Right? To put a cork in it? Well, I have to have a kid. I have to. I'm getting old. My biological clock is ticking. Whatever. Fucking hold it. Hold it, people. You know? 5 years. And then when you start having kids, only have 2. 2 per couple. That's it. 1 for 1. 1 for me, 1 for my wife, 1 for my spouse. That's it. 1 for 1. You want more? Adopt. Plenty of kids out there. Population comes down, balances out. Everybody's got a family now. No more kids in orphanages, right? No more pointless, you know, births, you know, oopses. How many fucking people on this planet were in a fucking oops, right? Not my daughter. We created our daughter. She was not an oops. And I, you know, you grow up watching movies and TV shows where it's like, God, half the world was a fucking oops. No, whatever happened to Planned Parenthood? You know? Fucking oops. Give me a fucking break. If you're having oopses to make a family, you should not be having a fucking family, all right? Period. I think people should have to be certified to have a baby, certified to be a parent. There's too many people out there running amok, raising asshole, idiot, slack-jawed, mouth-breathing moron fucking people who just keep breeding more of the same. And no, not on my planet, right? There needs to be a cap on giving birth. You need to be certified. You need to be checked out mentally, physically, emotionally, If you don't fucking check out, you should not be raising a fucking kid. We don't need fucking assholes and idiots raising assholes and idiots, period. Look where we're at now. Half a planet full of fucking assholes and idiots, and the other half is just trying to fucking survive them. And there's a small percentage who are fucking worth a piss. And I ain't saying that I'm one of that small percentage, you know. I'm just a run-of-the-mill fucking guy out here. I probably should have been capped and not been born. Maybe they should have, you know, taken a break and not had me and just had my brother and sister, right? I was a fucking oops. My brother was an oops. My sister was an oops. We were all fucking oopses. We weren't planned. We were oopsed into this fucking world. You take out all the oopses, and you just have people who were brought into this world because their parents wanted it and could take care of them, right? Where are you going to be? You're going to be about a quarter of the population is what you're going to be. Fucking oopses. That's my kid Oops, and Oops Jr. and Oopsa. Oops. No, we specifically conceived our daughter, right? I remember the day. Why? Because that is the day that we made our daughter. You know. Yeah. And everything we've done since then has been specifically for our daughter, right? To make sure that to make sure that she's at where she's at now. She's on our way to university in the fall. This month, she starts university, having graduated college with 3 degrees. There's no oops there, all right? This was all pre-planned, all right? Because that's how you do that. You don't just fucking oops your family. I got 12 oopses. Oh. You know, or we're having this many kids because God says that we have to have this many kids. Not my God. My God says put a cork in it. You're fucking up the planet. You're taking stuff away from everybody else, all right? So I guess that's where we get religious wars, you know, because some people feel that they are privileged and they are special because they have this within them that they can just do whatever the fuck they want. Fuck everybody else. You know. Which is why you've got, 18 and counting, 21 and counting. And then you don't want to watch the documentary on the reality of those fucking people. Why? You look at the children from that family, and half of those children don't want to have children. Because, they realize what their parents did. The fucking Dugars. Give me a fucking break. That from the beginning, that family sickened me. And I knew where it was going from the beginning. And right when they got to, where they wound up, I was like, yep. Saw that coming. Why didn't anyone else? The Dugars, everybody backing them up. And, oh, yeah, I want all my girls to be in dresses and kneel down and pray and then, have to be taken into the back room. Yeah, give me a fucking break. That's just pathetic, sick, disgusting. And of course they, once again, misusing religion and using religion to say that it's okay to do these things, or being absolved by a religion. My religion says that it's okay that I do these things because I forgive myself. What? That's not what religion is for. Don't try to tell me that, that's what it's for, because it ain't. It ain't. Where's my towel? Where's my towel? I need my towel. Anyways, yeah. I'm a religious person. I'm a spiritual person. If you hear me bagging on religion, it's because the people misuse it. It ain't a right. It's a fucking privilege. Like driving. Driving ain't a right. It's a privilege. People misuse it, and they should be not allowed to use it again, right? Evangelists, send me your money, I'm gonna pray for you. and they drive around in really, really fancy cars and dodge tax issues, and their parish suffers, right? They're convinced that everything is good because they're fucking brainwashed. You know, are things really good? No. But it's okay because they're, you know, whatever. It sickens me, you know, that people allow themselves to be used by the very thing that could save them, right? And they turn it over to someone else. Okay, fuck me over, you know, do what's good for you, you know, under the guise that it's good for me. No. I mean, you see constantly, you can't say, you know, wake up or open your eyes on the internet in any comments, right? Because they just throw out, well, you fucking wake up. You're the one that's sleeping. You're the one that doesn't know, you know. And they just get pissy, you know. Nobody wants to fucking change. Nobody wants to pull their head out of their ass. They're quite content sniffing their own shit because they don't stink, you know. And when they pull their head out of their ass, they're looking at life through their fucking peachy rose-colored fucking glasses because that's the way they've been told to see, you know. There's only 4 lights. No, I see 5 lights, but there's only really 4. No, it's 5 lights. I've been told that there's 5 lights, so I know there's 5 lights. I don't even have to open my eyes. I know there's 5 lights because I've been told there's 5 lights. It's only 4. You're an idiot. Wake up. Wake up and see that 5th light. With a light that's not there? Yeah, it's there. You just have to see it. Okay. Referring to of course, if you know what I'm referring to, then you know. 5 lights, 4 lights. Very, very sad. Humanity. Humanity's on the outs, you know, and I'm like, good riddance. You know, what a fucking waste of life. You know, all we've done is destroy, right? Conquer and destroy and change and ruin. You know, we're vandals on this fucking planet. That's all we are. We're just vandals. You know, the people who need to be told what to do, we could really use fewer of those, you know. I never once had to tell my daughter, look, this is who you need to be. This is who you're going to grow up to be. You need to do this, you need to do that. You know what? It's been, go to school, because that's what people do. They go to school, right? If you're really good at it, stay in school. You know, that's been it. My push is to make her want to do these things, to give her enough drive so she wants to do it. She doesn't really know why she wants to do these things. She knows that she wants to do these things and accomplish these things, and it's eventually going to lead to something, right? She's not going to put a lot of forethought into exactly where it's going to lead, right? Just let it play out, right? The popular word for this year is organic. Just let it happen organically, you know? So she's studying psychology. She graduated college with 3 degrees, right? General and psychology and what is that other one? Yeah, anyway, so she got 3 degrees. When she graduates in 2 years from the university, I hope she just decides to go for another 2 years or 4 years, right? I mean, if it's possible that we can, you know, that she can just stay home and continue to do that, and it works that way, and she can financial aid her way through the whole thing, then we'll do that, right? So that when she decides to go out into the workforce, right, she's working it, and it's not working her, I don't ever want her to do a fucking menial labor fucking job. Not that there's anything wrong with it, but it can wind up leading you to more menial nowhere fucking jobs. From experience, I know this. You know, only with education can you change your future. Knowledge is power. You know, when she can hold up those several degrees and say, yeah, I got it going on. She can write her own fucking ticket, no matter what that is. No matter what that is. You know, being a psychologist on a ranch, talking to the farmhands about, yeah, boy, those cattle, they really bum me out, man. Whatever. You know, being a pet psychologist. Working on a cruise ship. You know, fuck. You know, being a door-to-door brain doctor. You know, who fucking knows? Anything's possible now. Uber docs. Right? That's coming. Uber docs. You heard it here. All right? It's coming. You're going to have a doctor that shows up at your door, or they'll do a computer thing, and they'll call it Uber docs. Uber doc. Some form of that is coming, where you'll be able to get your doctor at home, and there will be a certain kind of doctors that make house calls via nurses, right? A nurse will show up and do vitals while you're discussing everything with a doctor on the computer, back and forth. You're having a back and forth with your doctor, and you've got a nurse there taking vitals and doing all of this stuff and setting up the examination and all of that, right? If that's going to happen. Some form of Uber doc is coming. I see it. I predict the future on a lot of occasions, and this time I'm saying this is going to happen. I predicted all the shit that can come about in the last 20 years, including the thing that started it off in 2011. I predicted that. I predicted Jerry Garcia's death. I saw a lot of things before they happened. I told very few people, because they already think I'm fucking crazy. So my wife knows. My wife knows. My daughter knows that I have this ability to see things before they happen. And I'm telling you, Uber Docs is coming. As well as some form of civil war, right? So much so that there will be some form of martial law instituted in the next 5 to 20 years, all right? Whether it's this administration upcoming that's going to do it, or events in the next few years that are going to unravel, that are going to cause the United States to divide big time, and entire families will divide, right? And hate each other, right? And food will become scarce, and resources, medicine, and they will institute some form of martial law and travel passes, all right? You will have to have a pass to get from here to there. What are you going there for? Okay, show me your pass. You got a reason to go from here to there? Otherwise, you can't travel. And if you are going to travel, what's the reason why you can't take public transportation, right? It's going to get that bad, where they're going to start regulating people's movements, people's usage of everything, especially resources. And then it will get to where you will be told, look, you can't have children. We'll pay you to use contraceptives. We will pay you to not have sex, or at the very least to not get pregnant. If you get pregnant, we'll pay you to get an abortion, right? It's going to come to that, right? It's going to have nothing on Roe v. Wade, right? It's going to be crazy. The government's going to step in and start regulating everything here in the United States, right? Because it's already happening in China. It's already happening in other countries where the government is in control of the people and tells the people what they can do and what they can't do, and people listen, right? And for the most part, the people know that it's for their own good, right? Like China, they turn off all internet at like 10 o'clock at night or 8 o'clock at night, right? And they don't turn it back on until the next business day in the morning, so that their people can get some fucking sleep, right? because they know better. They know that if they just allow people to go fucking rampant, they will, right? If you let me stay in front of that video console and play video games for 3 days straight, I will. Why? Because it's fun, and I want to do it, you know? And to hell with work. I'm going to stay here and do this, even if I lose my job and my house and my wife, right? So they regulate their humans' activities. And it's going to get so bad here that we're going to start getting hit with a lot of regulations. Now, the people who stay in line and go along with all of the bullshit rules and regulations and work the jobs and do the slave wages and all of that shit, and just, you know, Amazon, eBay, you know, streaming, whatever, and just follow along with whatever they're planning out. Those are the people who are going to thrive and have fun, you know. The people who think outside the box and want to have a different life other than what they're told, they're going to suffer. People like me are going to suffer, right? Even though I don't rely on any of that shit out there. I'm going to suffer because, you know, I'm not app affluent, right? I'm not, I don't use banking and money like everyone else, you know. I don't just sell my soul to creditors, right? So that I have to keep this slave fucking job and suck up to some asshole boss who is just using me to make his life better, you know. So I don't fit into the scheme of things. There are a lot of people like me who just don't fit into the scheme of things. And we're going to get phased out. If you look at the DMV, they're phasing people out. If you can't do your stuff on an app, you're going to get phased over to having to pay more insurance so that you can go to an insurance company that has DMV stuff, right? They're either phasing you out or they're gouging you hard, you know? I mean, there's people on fixed incomes that should be enough money to thrive on, right? $2,500 a month for one person as a fixed income should be enough for that one person to thrive, right? And instead, they're getting to the end of the month and they're dying. They're like, I got no food, my utilities are suffering, you know, I can't afford cat food. I mean, this is my neighbor here, you know, $2,500 a month on a fixed income. He's probably paying way too much for rent. He's paying way too much for food because he has to have everything delivered. He can't afford a car, right? It's like everything is against him. And he makes way more than enough money to thrive. Yet he's constantly attacked by people out for a little bit extra, a little bit extra, a little bit extra, you know, tips and fees, and it's just crazy, you know. $2,500 a month, my family can and does live on less than that, and we have to pay all of the same bills. We've got 2 cars, insurance, all of these things, right? If I had $25 a month coming in fixed income, I'd thrive. Seriously. That's crazy, you know. We have to work our asses off to bring that much money in. Really. But we don't have to, because we don't have extravagant fucking bills, you know. We do our own shopping. We don't Uber eat everything. We don't, you know, have every single thing that we consume delivered, you know. That's harsh. That's hard. That's a fucked up reality, you know. And if he doesn't get things delivered, then that means that he has to hire somebody to go out and shop for him, or hire somebody to take him shopping, right? And we've offered, right? You know, like, if you want to go to the store, just say you want to go to the store, and we'll set up a day, and we'll all go to the store together, and you can spend as much, you know. And it's like, nah, he just gets stuff delivered, mainly because he's physically unable to go out. You know, he's got a bad hip, and it'll just go out on him, you know, between, you know, the house and the car, you know, between the bed and the bathroom, his hip will go out. So I can understand it. But, if everybody would have just looked after everybody, we wouldn't need all the peripheral bullshit, right? We wouldn't be needing new programs to take care of new issues, right? Because we'd be working it out. We'd be a community of 8 billion people. I can't believe we're almost at 8 billion, right? That's sad. That sickens me. 8 billion slack-jawed, mouth-breathing morons, just ready to fuck this world up more. And it's like, how do we do it? How do we do it? How do we fuck this world up more? Hey, we're the politicians and the corporate assholes. We'll tell you how to fuck this planet up. We got it all scripted out. Just keep buying garbage. Keep buying. We'll keep making garbage. You keep buying garbage. Pretty soon, the planet is full of garbage. The ocean will be full of garbage. There'll be a mountain of garbage in the middle of the ocean. There'll be mountains of garbage all around our neighborhoods. It'll be that movie, Wall-E. That's it. By and large, die in rubble. That's it. That's the way we're headed. Big fat-fingered, slovenly fucking idiots pushing buttons, sitting in big chairs that move them around. That's it. That's what we're looking at. A planet full of idiots who can't think for themselves and cannot do for themselves. Anytime they need something done, they grab their phone and find somebody to do it for them. That's it. That's the way it is now. Before, men had workshops. Every guy in the neighborhood had a workshop in his garage, right? Every guy in the neighborhood knew how to pull electronics apart and repair them. Every guy in the neighborhood changed his own oil, his own brakes, rebuilt his own carburetors. Every single guy in the neighborhood was a handyman. And now 1 in 100 might have a quarter of those skills that his grandfather had. That's sad. The dumbing down of the world population. Well, why not? When you've got so many people, why do you don't need so many smart people anymore. You can't have that many people if you're smart. If you had only smart people, the planet would be this big, and there would be this many people on the planet, because we'd be smart enough to know, you can't have that many people and expect to hold it together. That snowball's going to finally crumble apart. And boy, is it crumbling. We're getting too big for this planet. We're getting too big for the natural resources. The natural resources are natural. They will replenish themselves if we allow them time. If we don't, we're fucked. And we ain't. We're chewing up the forests quicker than we can replant them. Every day, somebody should be planting a tree. Every day, somebody should be going to... they know somebody with a horse, right? Every week they should be going to that guy's house, picking up a bag of shit and throwing it somewhere in their area. All right? We live in the desert. Imagine if we were to truck out all of the shit from the local areas, right? And rather than take it to the fertilizer plants so that it would be sold back to us, take it and then just dump it. Let's just dump it alongside the highways, right? Dump it alongside the highways, and then drive down the highways with water trucks, sprinklers, water. You drive down desert highways with fertilizer alongside the highway out 30 feet. You plant in shrubs and tree saplings, and then every day you drive down that highway with water trucks and you spray those 30-foot stretches alongside the highways, right? And then after a while, those areas start to get larger on their own, right? And you create a road out in the middle of nowhere, and you seed that road. You go out in the middle of a desert and you just throw out fertilizer. You just throw out lots of fertilizer until the entire desert is covered in horse shit, right? You fly over, you water the hell out of it, you drop seeds and saplings and shit that take root. You send out dogs with seed saplings and stuff on their packs that drop out. Whatever you got to do to replant and reforest. It's so easy. There's so many simple plans to do it. There are entire countries who are doing this, small countries that are reforesting their entire country. People that are reforesting deserts. After thousands of years of being a desert, they're now green again. Why? Because that's what humans are capable of. So much goodness, and what they focus on the bad. Let's fight our neighbor because we don't want this wall here. We don't want him to come over and pray where he was praying 20 years ago. We kicked him out. Now we can pray here and he can't. That's the way it goes, you know. That's the way it goes. So, I don't know. Humanity needs to get on the same page. And there are so many people and so many things that just seek to divide us, right? And we just allow it. We allow these people and these entities to keep driving us apart, just keep wedging in between us. Why? Because they profit off of all of this. At some point, they're going to make money off of, you know, all the bullshit they put us through. Even in schools nowadays, you know, grade schools, high school, you used to have to graduate high school with the same knowledge, or better knowledge, you know, knowledge that today you'd be learning in college. You used to have to graduate high school with that knowledge. Now you're graduating high school with, you know, like freshman knowledge, right? College is just an extension of high school, and it's not even like when you graduate 2 years of college, you're not even in like the 12th grade of high school anymore. You're like barely there. The knowledge that they're passing off as knowledge today is just bullshit. It's just bullshit. You know, well, I know. I went to college 10 years ago. My daughter just graduated from college. She knows that it's just learning crap that doesn't really mean anything anymore. You know? It's crap. And she's in college for the degree. No matter how much crap she's got to go through to get that, it's the degree that matters, because that's what they want to see. It doesn't matter what kind of crap they taught you. It's that you earned a degree, and you stuck with it long enough to learn that crap and earn that degree, basically. You know, what'd you learn in college? Not much. What'd you learn at university? A little more than not much, right? But what'd you get? Well, I got a bunch of degrees out of it. You know, can you go and do this? Well, sure, I hope so. I got a degree in it. You know, you don't even have books anymore, right? I got physical books for everything when I went to college 10 years ago, because I wanted that knowledge to stay with me. Right now, you do it on the internet. You make your notes, you take your test, and then it's gone. It evaporates. It only stays up here if you're constantly thinking about it. And if you ain't, it's gone. You know, what happened to having a library full of books, academic and whatever, you know, so that you could refer back to something. Yeah, that's I remember this, and you go back and that's right, and you reinforce the things that you learned. Now there's no reinforcing. It's just you do it, you get it over with, you get your paperwork, and you move the fuck on. Whether you ever use that knowledge, you know, that's like, I'm never going to use any of that stuff that I learned in high school. That's true. They're not required. Looks like there's a half a loaf of French bread there. I guess if it hasn't gone gray or green because of the heat, the bread has a tendency to go old real quick in this fucking desert. So if it's still good, looks like French toast this morning. Well, that ought to be cool. Yeah, if we could just get everybody on the same page, right? You know, look, this is for the benefit of all, no matter what you believe, in any direction. This is the best thing for the planet and humanity. Can we all get on the same page about this one thing? All right, we start to see progress on that one thing, and then we decide, you know what? Getting everybody together is a good thing. Let's get everybody together on this other thing now, without the bullshit, without all the peripheral sidewinder shit, you know, no politics, no religion, no corporate bullshit. Just on a human level, this needs to be done for the sake of humanity and the planet. Let's do this. If we could just find these things, these commonalities that pull us together, you know, in the movies, you know, we got to fight off that asteroid. The whole planet comes together to fight off those aliens, you know. It's a tsunami. We all have to survive that asteroid, whatever. We all need to be on the same page about a few things. And then that will snowball. You know, then we'll all want to work together more and more. But they can't sell us on different things if we're working together. If there's no problems, they can't sell us their bullshit solutions, right? If there's no illness, they can't sell us their bullshit remedies. That's why they don't cure cancer. You know, that's why they don't fix social injustice, because it's a political talking point. It's sad. It's sad because the majority of humanity have the control to make things happen for the good. And it's easier to just turn it over to someone else, right? It's not my problem. Pass the buck. And humanity fails. Humanity fails as a whole. Because as a whole, we don't want to be bothered with it. Girls just want to have fun. You know? You ask anybody nowadays of a specific generation or younger, and they're just in it to have fun anymore. You know? And you ask them why, and they would straight up tell you, planet's doomed, we're fucked, let's just have fun while we can. What an attitude, right? Such a severe flop from 1970's first Earth Day, where we had so much hope for change. It's just, it sickens me. It's sad. It's really, really sad. And we just let it go. We just allow it. You know, let's get bullied by the people who we trust to take care of us. Corporations, governments, first responders. We allow these people to fucking use us and abuse us and treat us like shit. And then we put them up on a fucking pedestal and praise them for it. What the fuck? What the fuck? I don't get it. I don't get it. Somebody explain it to me so that I can understand it. Don't give me the bullshit rhetoric and all the rigmarole and the dogma and the propaganda shit that they keep forcing at you. Put your phone down, think for yourself, and explain to me why any of this is supposed to work. Why we can't just say, you know what, let's stop having kids and start planting trees. Let's stop buying shit that's bad for the planet and bad for us. Let's stop with the bullshit. Let's not allow pharmaceutical companies to sell us bullshit anymore, right? It's like, you know what? We know you've got the ability to fix what's going on, right? So fix it. Don't bullshit us along, you know? Do you realize that Pfizer, right, pharmaceuticals, has been around for like over 150 years, right? They've been selling us fucking snake oil shit for 150 fucking years, right? They've been responsible for most of the vaccines on the fucking planet, right? They have been selling us bullshit forever. Oh yeah, some of their stuff has been fixing us, but most of it has been bullshit to keep us reliant on more of their bullshit. Right? We have to have it. We have to have it. If you don't have this, you're going to die. Well, that's not true. If I start taking it, then I have to have it or I won't die. But if I don't start taking that and I start doing this and taking this and acting like this, I'm never going to fucking need that shit ever. But you don't tell us that, right? You don't tell us stop drinking sodas and eating sugar. You just tell us, hey, if you got diabetes, take this. And then you can continue doing that. You know? Fucking A. Fucking humanity. You know, and sometimes I just figure, you know what? Humanity deserves what it's going to get. Because it's got no fucking sense. As a whole, it couldn't think its way out of a wet paper fucking bag. Nope. You want to put somebody up on a pedestal? Put scientists, mathematicians, put those guys up on pedestals. The people who, you know, the thinkers, the ones who actually use their fucking brain for something other than swiping. Instead, we put idiots up on pedestals, actors and actresses and magicians, or musicians, yeah, magicians too. That fucking David Copperfield, that son of a... and all of these people that we put up there and expect them to care about us when all they care about is their bottom line. You know, all they care about is how good they look, how much money they're bringing in. You know, what was their fucking annual gross? Give me a fucking break. And we actually convince ourselves that they're like us and that they care about us, right? And they don't and they can't because we've made them more than we are. We've completely separated ourselves from that, and we've put them up, you know. We did that. We need to take it back. We didn't mean that. We didn't mean that you're better than us, because you ain't. You know. Let's Hollywood Walk of Fame, really? Where's the humanity Walk of Fame? The people that have done something to the betterment of humanity, right? Let's see all of those stars, right? We don't have that. Because the really, really important people, you know, they come and they go. The bullshit, you know, ooh, look at that, it's glamorous. I love that person. They're so glamorous. I want to be them. That's what it is we want to see ourselves in these superstars, you know. And so then we let them. We put them up there and go ooh ah, and they love having their asses kissed, and they love having that power over our emotions and our lives, you know. And we give it to them. Same thing with the car companies. We give it to them. We allow, ooh, look at that. Ooh, fancy. Gosh, I want to drive one. And then we buy the garbage, you know. And then you see the shit on fucking Craigslist, you know, a year later. Yeah, it's okay. It runs okay. It's a good car, you know. And they're getting a pittance for what they paid for it. Why? Because it's crap. It's supposed to wind up in the landfill in 5 years. You drive it for 2. It gets sold to somebody as a used car. They drive it for 3. Right? It goes to the junkyard. It sits there for a couple of years as it gets scrapped out, and then it gets melted down and turned into another hunk of fucking junk. That's the way it goes. No. You know, if you're still making replacement parts and rebuild kits for older vehicles, that's what I'm driving. You know, rehome a fucking old Chevy Chevette, right? You don't rehome a dog. Rehome your face. Yeah. Totally. That's what I'm saying. Get over it, people. Get fucking over it. You know, all this bullshit that you fucking throw yourselves into. And you need to worry about 2 things. The betterment of humanity and the betterment of this planet. Right? Anything else is fucking selfish. Right? It's fucking selfish. If you're not thinking about how you affect everyone on the planet and the planet itself, with every single thing that you do, if you don't think about that every single fucking time you do something, how is this affecting the planet? How is this affecting my fellow humans, right? If you did that, you wouldn't do most of the shit that you're fucking doing. But you don't want to think like that. Girls just want to have fun. We just want to go out and party. Guys just want to get their fucking jollies on. Whatever the fucking reason is, people don't fucking care. We're so wrapped up in this non-reality, right? You know, the metaverse is now. It's right out here. People are walking around in their own little fucking made-up universe. And they don't have to think about reality for the sake of reality, because they don't live in reality. You know, you try to confront somebody who's just totally fucking up your world, and they don't give a fuck, and they'll start a fight over it. Why? Because they don't give a fuck. They're just here to have fun, and fuck you if you don't like it. If you don't care, you know, then it's fine. But if you want to stop their fucking fun, you know, change their way, you know, then they just pick a fucking fight with you. Hey, fuck you, man. You don't like it? Fuck you. Yeah, but you're like affecting 20 people around you adversely. And it's like, well, fuck them all then. Come on. Dude, chill the fuck out. Fuck you. I'll chill out when I want to fucking chill out, man. I'll fucking chill out. Can you tell me to fucking chill out? You know, entitlement. Privileged. You know, affluent. Everybody wants to be that now. Everybody feels like they're privileged. Their shit don't stink. They can do whatever the fuck they want to do. It's that little fucking phone that does it. Makes them invincible, right? Because they can turn on and watch 20 other fucking idiots doing that same fucking bullshit, you know. And it turns them into that, you know. Guys going, you know, no judging, but boy, do I just want to sock some fucking heads. You know, pull up your pants, stop grabbing your crotch. You ain't funny. You know, there's 100 other guys who have said the same fucking thing. Nobody cares anymore. You know, you ain't new, you ain't hip, you ain't cool. You're just a copy. You know, and there's so many fucking copies out there now. Nobody wants to be different anymore. You know, how does my daughter stand out? By not standing out, right? By not going out of her way to be different. That's how you're a rebel now. Before, when I was young in the 80s, you had to stand out and be rebellious and be, you know, something other than, you know, that little meek individual, right? And now, the people who don't stand out, they're the rebels, right? The people with no tattoos and no piercings and no bizarre haircuts and no fantastic ways of life, you know, just the average run-of-the-mill people, right? The people who keep the shit together, those are the, you know, those are the new rebels. My daughter's a rebel, you know. She is completely her own individual. She's not a copy of someone out there. She's not a stereotype. She's not a, hey, look at me. You know, if she wants to dress up to go to a concert, pow, she's all dressed up, you know. But is she going to do that every day to keep everybody thinking that this is the kind of person she is? She doesn't worry about that kind of shit, you know. She's like Dad, you know. She wants to be different. She's going to wear a different t-shirt every day to school. Not wear the same t-shirt twice in one or maybe 2 semesters straight, right? That's her rebellious. That's her being different, you know. So she can have a, you know, a really subtle way of being a rebel, and she does. It's pretty cool. I had to, you know, I was constantly changing what I wore, my hair, you know, I was wearing makeup, I was, you know, cutting up my clothes. It's crazy. Because that's what a rebel had to do to stand out, you know, to be different. To let the world know, hey, I ain't one of those. I ain't a fucking Xerox copy. Because there's so much of that out there. And nowadays, with the way the phone is, where you have access to so much. It's like you can just, oh, I'm going to be a clone of this person. And then boom, there you are, you're a clone of that person. I'm going to be one of those. There you are. You got the clothes for it now, you got the hair. You know how to talk like that person because you're constantly watching those fucking videos. You know. Give me a break. Just pull up your pants, people. That's all you got to do. Pull up your pants. Think outside the box. You know. You should care about people. You should care about this fucking planet. If you ain't doing those two things, you're a waste. We don't need you. Nobody needs you. You know. If you're handing your kid a screen because you're too busy on yours, we don't need you or the kid on the screen, right? If you want to rehome a pet because you're moving into a new apartment that doesn't allow pets, so you have to give up the animal that you've had for 12 years, just on their way out, they have to go get a new home. Fuck you very much. You're part of the problem. We don't need you around, period. Yeah, if you're going to have a bunch of fucking kids because you can afford it, fuck you. The rest of the planet can't afford it just because you know, right now you make enough money to, you know, what happens in 6 years when you lose your job and your wife leaves you and you got 6 fucking kids to take care of, you know. She goes on welfare and we pay for it. If you'd have had 2 kids, you probably wouldn't have lost your job or lost your wife. We wouldn't have to be paying for your shit on fucking welfare, you know. Holy hell. Yeah, it's just really, 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 really sad, really, really sad. It makes me really, really mad, really, really mad. Right? Spay and neuter your humans. That's all I got to say. You know, Bob Barker had the right idea, but he should have took it a step further. You know, spay and neuter yourselves, you bunch of fucking cretins. Ugh. And it's just getting worse, right? And we don't have enough places for all of these people. We don't have enough resources, food, water, you know. I mean, you look in places in the world where they don't have anything and they're pumping out fucking kids left and right just to die. You know, they have a kid just so it'll fucking starve to death, right? Oh, that sickens me, you know, that it all comes down to education, lack of education. If people were smarter as a whole, we wouldn't be in half of the fucking bullshit that we're in. We wouldn't have the fucking out of control pollution, out of control population, you know, our resources wouldn't be fucking taxed to the fucking limit. But we gotta fatten up the numbers for them alien overlords who are gonna come and feed on us. You know, as soon as they look down at the planet and it looks like, you know, a cattle ranch, just wall to wall fucking humans, just shoulder to shoulder, right? There's nothing, we can't do anything, there's no food, we're gonna just have to eat each other. That's what they want, you know? Because they're gonna come down and they're just gonna start like a straw, just sucking up people, right? And just macking down on humans. Because I mean, what other explanation is there, right? For us having such an extreme amount of humans on this fucking planet. What's the point, right? What is the point? When humanity as a whole should know better, these scientists and the governments and the politicians and all of these people, they know, they have the science to back this shit up, right? We've known for a century that we don't want to let the population get out of control. We've known for a century that the Industrial Revolution has really fucked up this planet, right? Then why haven't we changed things? You know, you tell me. Because they want a fucking population of fucking idiots who they can devour as soon as they show up, man. That's it. We're just cattle.
Or the explanation is that we're just too fucking stupid to know better. And I don't buy that. We've been taught not to think by what they do in school. In school, they teach you not to think, right? They teach you to recite, to remember. They don't teach you to think. They don't want thinkers. They don't want to graduate thinkers. They want to graduate slack-jawed, mouth-breathing morons who they can convince to vote one way or the other, even though neither way has a different outcome. It's the same outcome no matter who you vote for. It's the same outcome no matter what you do, because it's all predetermined, right? Because we allow ourselves to be those idiots, those slaves. Because they don't want smart people. They can't control smart people. They can't sell smart people bullshit. You know, and if there were more smart people on the planet than not, then we would have a different planet. The face of this planet would look completely different, as would the face of humanity. You know, there wouldn't be so much bullshit, pollution, overpopulation, famine, disease, pestilence, war, destruction, rape, death, incest, all of this. Everything would just, you know, why? Because we would have bred out the morons, right? By having fewer people. Fewer people mean more education for everyone. Flat out. No more overpopulated classes. No more, 40 kids in a class just reciting rhetoric, right? And not learning to think for themselves, right? Very few schools in this country graduate children into higher learning who actually can think for themselves, right? They get to the new school, the college, the university, or whatever, and they don't think, right? They open up the thing and, okay, this is what I have to do. I have to go to this class. The teacher tells them what to do, they do it. The professor tells them what to do, they do it. They give this test, they answer the questions, they do it, they go on to the next thing. And that's it. There's no thinking involved, right? Very little of it. Very few professors and teachers will go out of their way to make their students think outside the box. Think, period. It's just, reciting rhetoric. That's it. My daughter has had the opportunity a few times, very few times in K through 12, but recently with the college, she's had one or two professors that she actually felt like they were helping her grow, right? You don't get a lot of that anymore. I'm hoping she gets some of that from the university. I don't expect she's going to get a lot. It's going to be, well, more of the same. Here's a packet. Here's what you're required. Here's your packet. This is what you're going to have to do this year. Start putting together this thing to turn in at the end of this semester. So here's what needs to be in that thing to turn it this. So you pretty much, you get a complete roadmap or instructions on how to successfully navigate this class. You don't even have to turn in quality work to get an A+. As long as the numbers line up, right? As long as you turned in this 10 points, and this 10 points, and this 10 points, and you didn't get any deductions because you missed certain things, certain elements, right? As long as you hit all of the bells and whistles, regardless of how stupid it sounds, you're going to get an A+, right? I would be told in college 10 years ago, look, you have to write a paper on this, and you have to include all of these elements in this essay, right? And I would take all that and I'd throw it away. And I would write a story. I would tell a story in the amount of time, the amount of words that I had for the essay, right? And I would hit on a few of the things that I was required to deal with in the essay. Aside from that, it really had nothing to do with what the teacher wanted. What would I get? I would get an A+. Why? Because I turned in the work, right? So I got my score, my 10 points, right? I didn't get anything deducted because I happened to mention once or twice the thing in the essay. And key is I used my imagination to tell a story that had something to do overall with what was required. That's it. I thought outside the box when I turned in an essay. When I wrote an essay, it was all me, baby. It wasn't me looking at notes and be sure to mention this and, oh God, I can't, if I say it the way it says in the book, then it's plagiarism. I never worried about plagiarism because I never fucking went there. You know, and I tried to impress that upon my daughter. Look, just start writing. Read the stuff that you have to write about and then just start writing. Right? And now she's got her professors telling her, you know, I handed this out to everybody in my class. I gave this to other professors to share with them, to say, look what she can do. Right? So, yeah, keep that up. But, you know, I wasn't going to do what they wanted me to do. Why? Because everybody else in the fucking class was doing that. I got my good grades by thinking outside the box. That's how I made it through college 10 years ago, getting A+ in every single fucking class. Every class that I took, I got a B+ or an A- or something, or better. I mean, I was on the fucking dean's list. I got 4.0 or better every semester. Was on the president's list, dean's list 4 years in a row, just like my daughter, you know. And I used my imagination and my ability to think for myself, right? Had I gone in as a kid, I would have been like I did when I was in my 20s or in my 30s, 10 years before that. And I was trying to do it for them the way they wanted me to do it, and it wasn't working. I was getting C's and D's and F's and shit. So we need to turn out more people who can think for themselves. You know, think outside the box. Otherwise, we wind up where we're at now, a world full of mouth-breathing, slack-jawed morons who can't think for themselves, you know, who can't do anything without looking up the answer, right? It's like, oh, I don't know, I better Google it, right? We've got that's why I won't go to a doctor, because I assume, like most people, they've Googled their way through life, and they've Googled their way through medical school, right? And if they need to know something, a doctor nowadays, what does he do? He calls someone, he looks on a computer, he looks in a book. Why? Because they don't keep the information up here anymore like doctors did 50 years ago. You'd ask a doctor a question, and he could know the answer, right? He didn't have to ask anyone, he didn't have to research, he didn't have to pick up his fucking phone, right? And that don't happen today, you know. You get a doctor who types up your fucking symptoms, and he gets a list of fucking pills that may or may not work for those symptoms. And then he decides, well, it sounds like it's this. And then he gives you a prescription. Where's the fucking medicine in that? Why? Because it's an industry. Now, it's a medical industry. The medical industry is there to support the pharmaceutical companies and to pay doctors to support those pharmaceutical companies. It's not about cures. It's about panacea and you know, placebos and, you know, remedies that just mask symptoms, you know, makes you feel better. It's going to cause another symptom that you have to take another pill for. That'll cause another symptom that you have to take another pill for, and so on and so forth. People don't get it. People don't fucking get it. They just keep right along with the same thing. That's what they're telling me to do, so I got to do that. Boom. If that's you, just check the fuck out, because you're what's wrong with the world. If you can't think past what they're telling you to do, if you can't listen to them telling you what to do and go, that's all fucking wrong. I'm not going to buy that. Are you kidding me? I'm going to buy that? Just because you say it's you know, quality rated, don't mean that it's fucking worth its weight in anything. It's going to be landfill in 18 fucking months, a year, 2 years. You know, fuck that. Now, I'm going to go to a yard sale and I'm going to buy one of these fucking things and I'm going to rebuild it and I'm going to use it for 20 fucking years, hand it down to my kid. That's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to buy your garbage. I'm not going to go to Walmart and buy one of their fucking shitty-ass fucking turntables, right? A brand new piece of shit that's going to last a year, right? Maybe. And it's probably going to destroy your records, too. Why not go out and buy an old turntable and rebuild it and use it for another 20 years? Or buy something that's worth the money that you can rebuild over and over and over again. Something strong, solid state shit. Not this plastic flimsy ass shit. You drop it and oops, it's broken. Nah. You know, the shit, yes, in our yesteryears, we used to be able to throw a fucking power tool down on the ground and pick it up and use it. Right, I could drop a skill drill on the ground and it would be fine. Now I dropped my Makita and it fucking shattered, pieces went everywhere, and you know, fuck, you know, fucking garbage. We're just expected to buy garbage. Why? Because people will buy garbage. You know, stand up and say, I ain't buying this shit anymore. Fuck you. Sell me something worth buying and I'll buy it. Otherwise, I'm going to go over, I'm going to get this old thing and I'm going to use this until you sell me something just as good. Sell me something that comes with a rebuild kit. All right? Sell me a car that I can work on. Sell me something simple that is fixable. Don't add all of this bullshit into it, right? I mean, sell me a remote for the television that has numbers on it, where I can say channel 02 and it goes to that channel. You have to buy an aftermarket remote to get that now. You don't get a TV with a good remote. You get one of these shitty ass fucking fuck you Roku remotes, right? That's what you get. One of these tiny little fucking things with stupid little buttons that take you in circles, right? Or that you have to go start it up and then go to the main menu and then go to the app and then start up the app and oh shit, it didn't, I have to reboot it, fucking didn't start up. Oh man, I gotta fucking, oh, it's got an update, I gotta go through the update. You update and then it's like, all right, you open up the app and then it's, oh fuck, I gotta go over to the thing and I gotta scroll through 100 fucking channels to get to the channel you want. And then when you get there, the show's over, the game's over, the play's over. Now you gotta watch it on a fucking rewind or something. Before, if there was a power glitch and the power went off for 3 seconds and came back on, you could pull the knob on your TV, turn it back on, and within a second, your TV was warmed up and you were watching that program because it was still on the same channel. And boom, you're back to the game. Honey, hit the breaker. All right, we didn't miss the play. Now, it'll take you a minute to get back to where you were. No less than a minute to get back to watching the game again because the power went out. Oh, and that's if when the power went out, it didn't fuck up the modem. And now the modem has to reset, right? Before it will allow you to use the apps on your fucking TV, right? And then, if you're watching the news or something live, you can't guarantee that it's live. You can't guarantee that it's gone through some kind of AI algorithm that has taken it and adjusted it slightly to suit somebody's agenda. I'm just saying, it's out there. If they can do it, they will do it, and they can do it. They have the ability to do it, so why not? You know, it's been 20 some years, right, since they've been pushing us in this direction, and we allowed ourselves to be pushed there. Why? Because they can come along and go, ooh, boogie, 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 and scare us, right, and manipulate us from then on. And then we get divided down the middle. Those who will not be boogie, boogie, boogied, and those who will. And that's where we're at now. You got to make up your mind, people, on your own. Put down your phone, think, cogitate, take facts, put them together in your brain, and think. Don't take bullshit and think about it, because you don't think. This is bullshit. Yeah, if you ain't thinking for yourself, then you're just being told what to think, which means you're just being led down some fucking primrose path that's all decorated to make it look good as you jump into the jaws of some kind of fucking machine that's going to devour you, you know, because you were too stupid to lift your fucking head up and see that you ain't on the right trail, man. And that's just the way it is. Pardon me. That happens. In fact, why don't I do this? There. All right. So I'm wide awake, you know. I see reality for the sake of reality, you know, aside from all of the peripheral propaganda bullshit and conspiracy theories, which are just all bullshit, right? The reality of reality is this planet should be more together than separate, right? And we should be concerned more about humanity as a whole and as tenants on this planet that we're fucking up, right? Now you wouldn't live in your house and do things to your house that are going to cause your house harm, right? You're not going to barbecue inside your house. You're not going to cook one of those deep fryer turkeys in your house because something's going to happen, right? You're not going to build your house out of straw, right? Because we know what the big bad wolf can do. You know, you're not going to wire your house with, you know, low voltage wiring when you need high voltage wiring. You're not going to plumb your house with little bitty tiny pipes that are going to have too much pressure going through them and they're going to burst. You're not going to plumb your house with PVC on the inside behind the walls because it ages and cracks and bursts and then you got floods everywhere, right? So you're going to do things right? So why would you do that to the planet? Why would you do things to the planet that you wouldn't do to your own personal property? The Earth is our personal property, but, you know, as tenants, we don't own it. We don't, just because we think we own a piece of property, a house, a piece of land, you know, I own a whole building. Yeah, well, that's great. Well, the planet that you own that building on don't belong to you. It belongs to everybody. And not only that, it belongs to all of the other life forms on this planet. And by being the smartest creatures on the planet, you know, I use that term loosely, we should know better, and we should know that we have to take care of the planet, not just for ourselves, but for the sake of all the other living creatures here. You know, manifest destiny? Give me a break. You know, our manifest destiny should be to take care of the planet as a natural living organism and live with it, on it, beside it, but not destroy it, right? Oh. What are you going to do about it? Yeah. It's once again, I'm saddened and sickened about what's going on in the world. You know, cruise ships have to go in different directions now to avoid running through that big, giant dump in the middle of the ocean, right? Where the currents swirl around, all of the garbage collects. And there's this giant field of water, or trash on the water, out in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. And probably more than one in the Pacific, and more than one oceans have these, right? And people are coming up with solutions to get rid of the stuff that's in the ocean, but they fall short by not getting rid of the reasons that shit winds up in the ocean, right? Every time we think we're making progress, we're still moving 8 steps backward. 1 step forward, 8 steps fucking backward. Why? Because nobody's on the same page. Nobody cares about the planet as much as they should. Nobody cares about their fellow humans as much as they should, you know. Yeah, I lived next door to that guy for 20 years, and I didn't know that he was going through all those struggles. I didn't know that he was starving. I didn't know that his wife was sick and he couldn't afford to pay bills and all of this stuff. I didn't know. Why? Why didn't you know? You're his fucking neighbor. You lived next to him for 20 fucking years, and you didn't once think to go over and ask him how he was fucking doing, right? You noticed things were changing, but you didn't ask. You didn't try. You know? Shame on you. You know? Shame on you. Bad fucking human. You know? Get your head out of your own fucking issues and think about everything else and everyone else once in a while, right? Like every fucking day and every minute of every fucking day, you know? I sit here going fucking nuts, right? Because I can't get the shit out of my fucking head, right? It keeps me from sleeping, keeps me from eating, keeps me from my sanity, you know? Why? Because I see things realistically, and realistically we're fucked, and we just keep allowing ourselves to be fucked, you know. And as much as I scream about it, nobody wants to, you know, wake the fuck up and say, you know what, yeah, you know what, maybe I shouldn't do that, maybe I should do this instead, because this is going to help, and that ain't helping nothing, you know. Every single thing that you do every day, all day long, you should be thinking, how is it good for me, but how is it good for the planet? How is it good for my fellow humans? How is it good for the animals on the planet? How is it good for the economy? Should I not buy that? Should I write them a letter instead and say, you know what, bad, do something different? No, we don't do that. We just go, I'm here to have fun, and let me have 20 fucking kids while I'm doing it. Oh. I think this was a good day. Gosh, this was great. I had fun. You know, I think I got a lot off of my mind that I really needed to say. I don't think anybody's going to figure it out. I know Joey gets it, but I don't think anybody else is even close to understanding where I'm coming from. Why? Because even though they've got their head buried in their phone watching this and are probably going, I don't want to hear that, they're not going to get it. They're just not going to get it. Why? Because, you know, because of that thing right there. It's got them so programmed in the wrong direction. You're programmed as a consumer, and that's it. You're a consumer. If you spend any longer than a couple of minutes a day on that thing, other than using it as a telephone, right? If you're on there for more than a couple of minutes, you know, message, text, then that's it. Any more than that, you're just a consumer, and they don't want you to think for yourself. They want this to think for you and tell you how to think. Well, I don't think like anybody. Yeah, right, bullshit. You think like that group of people, so they can sell you that group of bullshit. Flat out, that's it. And if you don't see that, then you're part of the problem, and you just need to go away, you know. Put down your phones, people, and pick up reality, all right? That's all I can, you know, I can't stress this enough, that if you keep going down this same fucking road, what's going to happen? You know, the same fucking bullshit. It's just going to get worse. You know, I don't know. I don't claim to have all the answers. I just claim to know that the way shit's going, it ain't going right. And we need to, you know, as a whole, humanity needs to get its head out of its ass and start thinking for itself and not being told what to think. Because when that happens, you just become a slave. You know, your own wants and desires that are programmed into you. And therefore, you just put your head down, buy what you're told to buy, and do what you're told to do. That's it. How sad is that? How sad. Oh my God. All right, I'm going to get out of here. I am going to lift my head up and do something different, think for myself, and go out and be a positive influence on this fucked up world, right? even in my own small part, even if it's just influencing my daughter to be good, right? That's what I'm going to do. All right, people. Love you. Take care. Be good. Stay safe. Be kind. Spread peace and love. And most especially, stay weird. Because if you ain't weird, ain't nobody going to do it for you. Love you. Adios.